Hello. Yes, we are here for a late night podcast. Finally catching up on next episode of Conversation with Kely, episode who knows what. But we're finally here catching up on Big Brother 25. There is a double eviction happening tomorrow, so we kind of have to do this podcast now. We both have things going on tomorrow that make it so we're not able to. We have to kind of do this now. But before we get into, I am here, my lovely beautiful co-host Ali. How are you doing tonight? Hopefully not sleepy, because I feel like this will take a little bit.
Oh, I'm doing well. I had a pretty chill day besides just a couple little things that I went out for, but I was only gone for a couple, maybe an hour and a half or so, and then walked Magoo for a bit and just watched stuff, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah, we did Survivor earlier. If you want to check that out, I mean, it's a watch along, so I don't know why you'd want to watch that when you're not watching the episode. However, we're not here to talk about Survivor. We're here to talk about Big Brother 25. It's still going on. It's still going on. We're at the end of October, and Big Brother is still going on. It's insane.
Well, it is now on day 85, so there's only 15 more days.
Only 15 more days. Jesus Christ. I feel like I've aged. I will be honest with you. I feel like I've aged 10 years since these last 2 weeks because they have not been very good.
They're not the worst. They're just very boring.
Yeah, I think that we are definitely at the point of the season where things are just really not getting or not as exciting as they needed to be. I think that there was potential with this twist, but I was still very dubious of how it was going to turn out based on how it turned out in BB Can. And it produced probably the most boring possible result that we really could have gotten. I mean, there's some good stuff here and there, but compared to other weeks, these last 2 weeks have been very boring, in my opinion. Yeah, I just feel like the sense of momentum that they've had in the other weeks of the game, it's just really not there, and things have just gotten very stagnant at this point. I feel like the gameplay is just not at the level that it really was. So yeah, I mean, we have stuff to talk about, but I definitely don't want to talk about it too much because it's not that exciting. Especially this first episode we're talking about is just not. There's not really much to talk about here at all. But before we do get into it, what did you think of these last 2 weeks?
I mean, I didn't hate them overall. I just thought it was just very average. It was just very predictable. Besides a couple things, obviously, but it's just I love Jag as a person and everything. It's just lately he's just been very boring as a player.
Yeah, very subpar gameplay, I think, all around. I honestly don't think there's anyone except maybe Cirie who is playing to the level that they really need to be. I don't think there's anyone here who's really sticking out. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm longing for the end game we had in BB24 at this point because that had so much more excitement. We were at a point where Mecole was going to go, what?
It really did, though.
Yeah, Taylor was planting all these seeds against him. Things were shaping up to be really exciting at this point. And right now it's I mean, things could be exciting heading into the double, or they could just be really fucking boring. I don't know. But with that said, let's talk about this week, which I will say this first week especially is really dull. It gets a little bit more exciting towards the end, but this first episode especially, we really do not have much to talk about. It's easily one of the most nothing episodes of the season.
Also, since to make this go faster, because we have so many pages, we're just gonna do we're gonna go back and forth with the episodes.
Yeah, so Allie's gonna talk about Sundays.
All right. So America says in true Big Brother fashion, this giant crystal has crashed the HOH room, which screams comic week. She has no idea what this means for this week, but she's excited. And Cirie says this was actually an exceptional week for her. She's surviving on the block for her very first time, and they finally got rid of Cockroach Cam. With him,
that feels like that was forever ago.
I know, it honestly has. With him being out of the house, there is no longer a community target, and war is going to ensue now, and it has to. So say goodbye to the kumbaya because there will be blood. Everybody's walking down the stairs. Cirie tells them if Cam comes back, she's leaving. Both Jag and America are scared.
That's so funny.
That was. So they get a transmission from the comic verse that reads that a space crystal from the outer rim of the BB comic verse has crash landed into the BB house. These cosmic crystals unleash superpowers when exposed to the atmosphere of their universe, changing the course of the game this week. The first superpower they must face is the BB power of invisibility, which means this power will keep the hotel will keep the
The
HOH
hotel.
will keep the HOH invisible all week long, allowing them to nominate and play the game from the shadows. No one will know the true identity of the invisible HOH unless they choose to divulge their secret. And the superpower comes with the super advantage because since the winner's secret will never be revealed, they will also be able to play the next HOH comp.
Yeah, let's talk about this for a second, because I will be honest, I've not been a big fan of the Invisible HOH twist. I've said it many times before. I think this is a twist that works in like orgs. Things are, there's much easier ways of like concealing things and things like that. But I was open to see how it was going to work here. The second that they said the HOH can play in the next comp, I was like, what is even the point of this twist? Like, the whole point of this is you get a ton of blood on your hands and you do such a good job of doing it that nobody knows that it was you. And then you can go into the next week being able to not play in the comp, but still being safe. Claire literally had to do this in 23.
Yeah.
Why does the person that wins the HOH this week get the advantage of getting to play again? Like, I just don't understand this at all. There basically is zero stakes in this HOH whatsoever. You can have the worst HOH and then completely correct it next week because you can just win again.
Yeah, it was just really like unfair and like and this twist could be really good, but it's always just always very basic.
Yeah, I don't think any of the outcomes we've had, BB Can 9, BB Can 11, or this one were like exciting.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So Cory says not only can they make a move without anyone knowing, they can also play an HOH next week, which this week is really important. The days of throwing comps are far behind him, and he needs to win now.
Or so he thought.
Matt says now they get to be an HOH that's invisible. This is super powerful this late in the game. If he's nominated by this invisible HOH, he may never know who it is. This is going to be a very important HOH. Blue tells everyone no one gets the HOH room, which America says no wine for the HOH. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Cory tells Jag and America no BS and that they tell each other, which Jag says it could be good for them. Cory tells them the only thing is this makes it easier to make moves against each other, which they're not going to do, which Jag agrees with. Cory says if you plan on moving forward with someone in the game, you have no reason not to share the invisible HOH. And he says they're going to win, they're going to tell each other, and they're going to sleep easy tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Which here's the thing. That is a good move, but it makes it so fucking boring. Like, when you're invisible HOH, you should not want to tell anyone except your number one. Like, I understand they want to build trust, but I feel like that's just emblematic of the fact that you should not do it this late in the game. Like, you should be doing this at like final 15 or something. Like, when there's more options to pick. I feel like final 8's like a really weird time to do this.
Yeah, when there's more people, it'd be way more spicy in so many ways.
This just feels like yet another thing like BB Zombie Week where it's like, oh, we have this really cool twist, but we don't know when to do it, so we'll just put it here. Like, they didn't think out when they want to do it at all.
Not at all. But are we shocked?
No, not this season, especially. Every twist has been so messy. I think the only one that's like actually turned out well is like the power that Matt had. That's like the only one that made sense.
Literally just that one. So Jag tells them the top targets are going to be them or himself and Matt. Jag says he sees what Cory's doing. He wants them all to tell him if they win so that he can feel safe. But an invisible HOH could be an opportunity to make a huge move. If he wanted to take a shot at Cory in America, this could be the week to take the shot.
See.
Cirie tells Felicia this just brought them a week off the block. Felicia tells her if they can do this anonymously and nobody needs to know, the others are going after each other. So Felicia says this is the best week she thinks they're going to have in the household this season. And she's been on the block 4 times. And with this being an invisible HOH, people can now go after some of the biggest targets in the house. Jag, Cory, Matt. She hopes they're nervous because if they don't win, they can almost guarantee to see their face to show up on the nomination day. Cirie tells her she bets they're shaking in their boots, which Felicia agrees and says now they know everybody's going to come after them and take them down. Cirie tells her nobody's scared in secret with no repercussions at all.
Yeah. And that's the thing here is that like there's no repercussions to what you do. And while yes, that's exciting, it's also like boring because again, you could just win again.
Exactly. Cirie says this is a win-win all around. There are no cons in this HOH. She could take shots at major targets without becoming one herself. Jat and Mecole Cory, she really wants to win this one. So Felicia tells her when they go all the way to the final 2 chairs, the others will watch and see.
Yeah, and literally the rest of this episode basically is the HOH comp, which is insane.
Oh, yeah. So it's time for the HOH competition, which is the classic BB comment. So it should be a veto, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, let's get the obvious out of the way here. This is an invisible HOH. Like, it's supposed to be anonymous, meaning anybody could have won it, and you pick one of the most physically demanding comps on the entire season that only a few people are going to be able to win. Like, I don't understand what the fuck they were thinking here. Like, you already know that there's going to be certain people that can't win this, and that completely ruins your twist. Like, you can still do BB comics, but why are you doing it as an HOH? Why are you spending most of this episode on them doing this comic and pointing out all the intricate differences that I don't give a fuck about with comics that were mostly horrible? I don't understand why they decided to do this. The only thing I can think of is that there was a specific person that they had in mind that they wanted to win. And so they catered it towards that person, which if that was the case, why do this invisible HOH at all? Like it's so poorly thought out, Allie. It's so frustrating.
It's like, oh my God. It's just very frustrating. So some bootleg comics got mixed up with the real one, so it's up to them to sort through all the BB comics and make sure only the correct ones get posted on the website. They will hit their button to start their clock, then fly down the zip line to peek inside the BB comic studio. They'll grab the matching comic books and place them on their laptop screen, so each one exactly matches the BB comic studio wall. Be careful because it can be tricky spotting a real cover from the bootleg. When they think they have all the comics placed in the correct order, hit their button. If they're correct, their time will stop, and if they're incorrect, a buzzer will sound, and their clock will keep running, and they must figure out what is wrong. Once all the players have gone, they'll be gathered in the living room, where the winning time will be revealed to everyone. Only the holder of this time will know they have won. The player who matches their website to the BB Comics Studio wall in the shortest amount of time will become the Invisible HOH.
And again, like I love a good BB Comics comp. It's always fun to watch. And things like that. If they really do go all out. Despite how terrible some of the comics were this season, like I'm sorry, Cirie being the robe that's the best you can do. So many seasons of Survivor and Big Brother, and that's the best you can do. Just the robe. But like, why an HOH? Like that's really what I want to know.
Yeah, it's just not meant for an HOH comp, but whatever.
Also, why Final 8? They always do this at like Final 6. Like I don't understand why they did it so early.
Oh my God. They just did not think a lot of these things through.
Yeah, they haven't all season, so I'm not shocked.
Yeah, literally. So after an incredibly elongated and tediously long comp, the winning time is 8:30. Everyone is just staring at each other, trying to figure out who won. Cory says everyone's in the living room being quiet and not owning up to their time. He's extremely worried because he has a reputation in this house. He's a bit of a schemer. He's kept some secrets and he thinks people might be suspicious he won a comp.
Mind you, this is like literally the last 10 minutes of the episode. Like, I mean it when I say most of the episode was the comp. It was ridiculous.
It was. Just no point.
Like, I don't need to watch, I'm sorry, I don't need to watch 8 people do the same comp. Like, I just don't need to see that.
No. Cory tells America, Jag, and Matt he was 11-11, and they're all quietly asking each other if it was them. Matt mouths it's Blue and says he was 13:37. America says hers was 10:53, and Jag says he was 9. Jag says this week is going to cause a lot of paranoia. They know the winning time is 8:30, but no one is owning up to that time. The thing is, with all of this, everyone's going to lie about their time, and no one knows who's telling the truth and who is.
And that's like literally the only drama of this twist is you can have that paranoia of who's the Invisible HOH. Yeah. But again, when you're revealing the times and it's this comp, that ruins it because it's like, okay, there's only a few people who are going to get that time. Because I'm sorry, 8 minutes is a ridiculously low time for this comp. Like, I believe that is that is the record for this comp. Like, nobody has gotten even close to that.
Oh, it's insane.
Again, really should have just rethought out. Like, there's no reason why the HOH comp shouldn't be some kind of a crapshoot for Invisible HOH. That literally anybody can win.
So Blue tells America her time was 15:24, which America tells her she really thought she had it.
Yeah, America was the second person in this comp.
Yeah.
Almost won.
Oh, yeah, she was. Yeah. America says Blue's
what acting. Could have been.
America says Blue's acting so sad right now. She thinks she's playing it up about her time being so high. She questions that there's no way she got 15 minutes and she's having a hard time buying it. Felicia talks to Cirie about the comp and she tells her 8 something is about the average time in the first place. And says it's not her. Cirie thinks it's probably Jag and Matt, which Felicia agrees and also mentions Cory. Felicia says the time was revealed, which clearly wasn't her. Her and her girl Cirie are hoping whoever won isn't looking at them to be put on the block. That would be a foolish misuse of the superpower and that they've been given, which, I mean, true.
Yeah. I wish it was one of them in power, but you know.
Ugh, me too. That'd been so good. I feel like Felicia.
Cirie.
I think Felicia being Invisible HOH would be entertaining.
No, she rats out, especially after this week. I don't think it would be. I think it'd be as messy as like Santina being HOH. I think Cirie is generally the only person, or like America, or like the only people that would have pulled this off well.
I mean, and maybe Blue.
No.
With what Jag does later, that was good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Blue would have just put up Cory in America.
Probably. So
which is like that's not what you should do as Invisible HOH.
Felicia says the time was revealed, which clearly wasn't her. Oh, sorry, I already read that. Felicia tells her based on who's nominated tomorrow, they'll know exactly who it was. Bowie talks to Blue that she's unsure of who to believe, which Blue says no one won this challenge apparently, and Blue tells her 8:30 is almost half of what she got. Bowie says Blue is acting a bit suspicious and she's super upset. She's hoping the tears are real and not fake. This could actually be some overacting going on, and perhaps she's the Invisible HOH.
At this point, just fucking reveal who it is. My God.
Ugh, I know. Matt walks in the room and Bowie says they'll just have to deal with all that. With all that happens tomorrow and work out with the best, which Matt says it's going to be bad. He thinks it's going to be him and Jag going up. Matt says they're all good liars at this point. They've been in this house for so long and they know how to lie, so he doesn't know who to trust now. This would be a perfect week for an Invisible HOH to come after himself and Jag. The game is going to change from this because it's super powerful this late in the game.
Which is why it should not be there this late in the game.
I know. America asks Cory, Matt, and Jag if they really think it was her, as in Blue. Jag's unsure, while Cory thinks Blue seemed pretty happy at the time reveal. Cory is nervous because if he gets nominated, he thinks it's Blue. He's going to think it's Blue no matter what. Jag tells them either himself and Matt are cooked or Cory and America are cooked. Which Cory says Blue is really by herself right now and needs people to work with. Cory says Blue has been gunning for him for weeks, and if she's the Invisible HOH, she's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Cory tells them what scares him is that Blue is not telling them, which Matt says she's getting weird. Cory says there's no way she went 15 minutes, and Bowie walks in the room and they update her what they think it's Blue, and Bowie tells them Blue is upset, so she's unsure. Jag says people are suspecting that the Invisible HOH could be Blue based on how she's reacting right now, but the only thing that's confirmed is the secret HOH is definitely throwing a wrench into everyone's plans.
And then
Jag then reveals he is the Invisible HOH. It's his first HOH of the season, and he's stoked. He waits for Blue to leave the room and then reveals to Matt that it's him.
I don't know why they took so long to reveal this on the show.
I know. I was wondering that too. He tells him that he could play the HOH next week, so he tells them as an AmeriCorey he's putting up Blue and someone else. He thinks they will be loyal to them, but he's unsure if he wants to tell them, which is scary.
Which, like, just don't tell them. You're in the Invisible HOH. You don't have to tell them.
Yeah.
Tell them you didn't win it. Like, just be on. Like, it's...
Like, no. Jag says this will be a dicey week, and he will figure out who he wants to tell because if too many people find out he's in trouble, but he also wants to tell certain people so he can continue to build trust with them. Even though that's not the point of this twist, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, this pissed me off so much because, like, the point of an Invisible HOH is not to build trust with people. The point of Invisible HOH is to cause paranoia. Like, that's the point of this twist, is to, like, make the paranoia run rampant in the house. And I feel like, again, if this was earlier in the season, like, this would have been great. But because it's so late in the game, nobody's thinking about causing paranoia. Everyone's thinking about the end game. So, like, this was just... so frustrating.
It was frustrating and just annoying.
Yeah, because like I would argue he doesn't even play as an Invisible HOH this week. He just plays as a regular HOH pretty much.
Yeah. So Jag asks America if she talked to Blue, which he says she did, and she's denying it. Jag says he has no intention of bringing AmeriCorey to Final Four, but if he takes the shot at them now, it breaks up that duo, and he and Matt will be the only powerful one left in the game. Left in the house, so he absolutely needs to be careful about the decision he makes.
I mean, you can just win HOH again next week anyway, so what's the risk here?
He then reveals to her and Cory that he's the Invisible HOH, and they all celebrate. America says he had her believing it was Felicia.
I don't know why he told them. Like, straight up, I don't know why he told them.
I know. He should have only told Matt.
Yeah, literally just keep it at Matt. That's it.
Cory says Jag was pushing hard the idea that Blue won the HOH last night, but apparently this morning he's had a change of heart. In fact, he won the competition and kept him in the dark for like 5 hours. America says while Jag is claiming he's the Invisible HOH, he wasn't saying anything after the competition, but she is super relieved because that means he trusts her and Cory, and he won't be coming after them. But the roles were reversed. She would have gone after Jag, but she's not complaining.
Again, which is why he shouldn't have told America.
Jag says they should think about this because he's been thinking all night if he puts up Felicia Blue or Felicia and Cirie.
Great choices for Invisible HOH all around.
Oh, yeah. He knows he has options on the table, but has to be careful about what move he makes because this could really backfire on him. So, they then hear an announcement from a really cheesy, annoying superhero narrator telling them it's time for the Invisible nomination ceremony. In order to keep the HOH concealed, they hear the nominations through this annoying narration. That they announce that Felicia and Blue have been nominated.
And this is where I'm going to credit BB Can for a bit. I don't understand why they didn't do it like they did, where it's like they have the HOH go into the room, but it's anonymous and they like distort the audio a bit. It's so much cooler that way. This was just so cheesy and stupid and lazy.
Yeah, it's just weird. Very lazy.
Yeah.
So Felicia is pissed off, saying the young kids have no game, using people as pawns or whatever, and she may be the actual target, but she knows she's tired of going on the block and packing her suitcase, and with people like Matt, Jag, and Cory, she doesn't understand why they are up, especially when it's a week where no one needs to know who did it. It's a complete waste of the superpower, and she feels like
Mm-hmm.
whoever it is isn't playing the damn game, which she's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally. Couldn't have
Hmm.
said it better myself.
Yeah.
Like, what a
So
waste.
Blue says being nominated obviously sucks, and she really doesn't know who the Invincible HOH is, but her gut is telling her it's America or Cory. They're honestly the same player to her, and she just doesn't think her and Felicia are that big move this week, especially with two duos in this house. She really hopes she wins veto.
The disdain she has for America and Cory is so funny. Like,
Oh, it's
it's just
hilarious.
like, she's so unserious. I love it.
Oh no, it's so funny. Like, she doesn't even hate them. She's just being like a villain.
It's literally, she said it on the feeds. It's literally just because she wants her and Jared to be the superior showmans. Like, that's literally all it is.
It's so funny. So Jag says he was working with Blue in the past, but his ideal final five is himself, Matt, Bowie, Cirie, and Felicia. He thinks he sets up himself and Matt as well to make it to those final two chairs.
So you nominate one of the people that you want at Final Five with you, even though, like, whatever. Anyway, this episode was stupid.
Yeah.
Let's get to Tuesdays, which was 90 minutes for some reason. But we'll get into this. I will say, definitely a better use of the 90 minutes than the other one we got in the week
Yeah.
that Cam was HOH when like Izzy and Felicia were on the block. They definitely made better use of it, but I don't think this needed to be a 90-minute episode. I'll say that right now. So Jag says as the Invisible HOH, he nominated Felicia and Blue. He decided not to go after Cory and America because if one of them goes home this week, he knows he and Matt will be the only duo left people go after. Again, you can literally win HOH again. It's not a big deal, but whatever. So Felicia tells them this was a wasted superpower, which she says out loud bluntly. I completely agree with her at that. She says it's her fifth damn time on the block, and whoever the Invisible HOH is needs to sit their ass down since they're two powerful duos in the house and neither went up, and they better not win that veto because they've been fucking with her the whole damn season. And here she is. She's just over it at this point, and I really don't blame her.
So good.
So Blue says she just got nominated by a weirdo Invisible HOH, and since she's sitting next to Felicia, she may be the target, and all she wants to know is who the hell the Invisible HOH is and why they won't come out and play. So Cirie says it's bad enough that she has few people left in the house that she trusts, but now the two people she's even attempting to work with are both on the block this round. So not great for Cirie. So Jag then talks to Blue and asks why it's her and Felicia. He tells her he thinks it's Cory, one of him and America. And this is basically like his reasoning for not putting America and Cory on the block is he wants to try to implicate Cory as the Invisible HOH, which we'll talk about how fucking stupid that is a little bit later on. But yeah, this is what he wants to do. He wants to frame Cory here. So Jag's not telling Blue he's Invisible HOH this week. He wants her to think it's Cory. So if she does stay, she has her target focused on him next week. And Jag says that she can beat Felicia in the veto. Blue isn't really buying this. She wants to believe him, but in the back of her mind, she can't forget the winner got a time of 8:30. And the only person who could do that is Jag. And again, this is why I said they should not have revealed the times because like this just completely ruins any sort of mystery. Like why did you do this comp? Why did you do this comp? Especially because like they could have done it here. So Cory talks to Jag, asks how Blue is doing. He says he doesn't know. She's real quiet and trying to figure out if she should be mad at him or Cory. If they can send her home, it will be the most crazy thing. Cory says he loves that Jag has to take a shot at Blue as this is his best friend, and that's hilarious. He wants Jag to get the blood on his hands. Ideally, they get Blue out this week, and the next week maybe his moment to strike at either Matt or Jag. So, you know, he's very much like, I don't know why I'm not on the block, but he's very happy that he is. So Felicia says she's played the whole game listening to her gut, and it tells her that one of Cory or Jag likely won the Invisible HOH. So she goes to them, asks who the target is this week, her or Blue. I love how direct she is here. This was such a great moment.
This was so good. I love this so much.
Yeah, this is one of the better moments of the week, I thought. Cory says he's not the HOH. She says she didn't ask him if he was. Cory says he doesn't have a target and is just really grateful it's not him. Jag says it's not him either. Felicia says that she should be thankful that she's on the block for a 5th time, and Cory says it's something, and she says this was a wasted superpower because they didn't need to do what was done here with a superpower. So then the question is, are they waiting for the vetoes so they can have a different target and backdoor them? And Cory says that it's a scary thought. So she gets nothing out of either of them here. Felicia says that she always says people's reactions and behaviors tell it all.
She's basically thinking like, they gave me nothing.
Yeah. So Cory's behavior has stayed the same, snarky. So her gut tells her that Jag is the HOH. He's trying to hide it, but he can't. He doesn't make direct eye contact and he kind of gets quiet. The question is what he's really going to do with his superpower. So Cory says that Felicia isn't wrong with the Invisible HOH. This was Jag's moment to put up him in America to get them out of the house. Instead, he's going to be here next week. And if he wins HOH, he will be on the block next to Matt. It'll be really cool. And he can't wait. So American Cory are playing pool. He talks to her about how they dodged a bullet and thinks that they are in the final 7. She tells him not to say that. And he says that he thinks that they're in because Matt and Jag are the best allies. But next week, he's putting both of their asses on the block. She says that they did so great. And he says they will continue to do so. And she says she knows that they will. Now, on one hand, I feel like Cory was very overly cocky this week, thinking everything was going his way. But on the other hand, I mean, Jag literally told him he was the Invisible HOH. So, like, I don't really blame him for thinking he's okay. So, you know.
It has, like, not since it has its, like, pros and cons.
Yeah. So America says she's super relieved that Jag didn't put her or Cory, put up her or Cory. She knows that Blue is the target because Matt and Jag have been repeatedly telling her that she's the next to go. So we get a quick segment to last week where Matt says that everyone wants Blue and Jag, and then Jag says if any of them were to win HOH, they have 4 people going against 1 person, and Blue winning safety isn't okay. America, however, doesn't want this. She thinks Blue would be good for her game and a great backup ally if Cory ends up leaving soon with all the heat he's been facing recently. And I mean, I think this was good on America to try to do this, to try to pick up Blue. Problem is, Blue has no interest in playing with America. She hasn't for weeks, and America has not been able to pick up on that. So, you know, it was a good move, but to the wrong person.
Like, the reason why she won't trust America is Cory's fault.
Yeah, it's literally just because of Cory. So America, however, America talks to Blue, tells her that from what Matt and Jag are telling her, the Invisible HOH is targeting her. Blue says that it's really stressful. And America says she hopes that by telling Blue, she'll trust her more. And if she stays, she'll take her sights off of Cory and start targeting Matt and Jag. And the exact opposite pretty much happened. She asked her why they want to go for her. America says she doesn't know if they're just lying about this, but it's what she's been hearing. Blue says that this is really interesting. America says she wants to make it to the end, and she feels that it would be nearly impossible to beat either of the boys in competitions. Blue says that she feels her and sees it. America says that she thinks they've all been hesitant to say it and think it. And America asks her if she sees the path with Matt and Jag. Blue says that she really doesn't know what to do. And Blue isn't buying any of what she's telling her here. She knows her and Cory have been coming for her. She now just wants to switch it up and tell her something else. She says Matt and Jag have been her boys since day 1. So to put it simply, the math simply is not mathing. So yeah, Blue is not willing to listen to America here. Let's talk about the vetoes because there's 2 of them. I will say this is the only twist I actually liked from this week. I actually like this because they get another transmission from the comic verse telling them about the BB power of multiplicity. It's basically what we thought. It multiplies the number of players in the veto from 6 to 8, meaning everyone's going to be playing this week in both comps. However, it's also multiplied the number of vetoes up for grabs this week to 2 with back-to-back comps, resulting in 2 different house guests winning the veto. So Felicia's really hoping she gets lucky enough to get one of these vetoes, needing this so bad to take herself off the block. Jag says now with 2 vetoes, there's 2 chances for Blue to play and take herself off the block, and this really isn't good at all. So she talks to Matt and says that Blue and she talks to Matt and says that she needs him to know what's been going on, talks about how Cory has been trying to recruit her and the conversation America had with her going after Matt and Jag. And he says that they're playing so big time in the middle, trying to be on everyone's side. So she makes it clear she's not rocking with them and has been with him and Jag since day one. The best case scenario is her winning to take herself down, and then one of the two of them win, and she can take them out when she gets the chance. I mean, Matt handles himself really well here, as he has been recently. He says that he wants to play with the people that have each other's backs and protect each other. Cory, he doesn't want to be with. They're going to throw him and Jag under the bus when they've been protecting them. He thinks that if he wins the veto, he may save Blue, and maybe Cory is actually the better target to take it, considering they haven't done anything to help either of their games at all. And in my opinion, yeah, they should have put up Cory at the start. I don't understand why Jag didn't just go ahead and do that, because I feel like that just makes the most sense at this point.
It does, but he did not agree.
And then I think at that point, like, there's like way more options for who can be the Invisible HOH because so many people wanted them out.
Yeah, definitely. Like, no one would have suspected.
Yeah, like if he doesn't trust Blue, just frame Blue. Like, literally, just frame her. So Jag says hearing this about Cory makes him reconsider everything. He's done a lot to protect their game, so he may have made the wrong noms this week. He's not sure where he's fully at because Blue then tells him about her conversation and things like that. So now he is really sketched out as well. So he wants to figure out if he wants to go after Cory or continue targeting Blue. And then we get to the first of two veto comps. And the first comp is, once again, like something we usually see as an HOH. So it's all backwards this week. We have...
this one was actually kind of fun as a veto, though.
Well, this might as well have been backwards week because we have a comp for a veto that's usually an HOH. And we have a comp for an HOH that's literally a veto. But it's going to test their super strength at a superhero training academy. It's basically the regular comp where they're going to stand on a small disc that are tethered to a rope. Players are going to be lifted up into the air and spin around. The objective is simple: hang on for as long as humanly possible, but the academy's training robots will be battering them throughout the test. Whoever can stay on the longest is going to win the first veto, and the Superhero Academy will also be awarding them a special cash bonus. And yeah, again, super physical comp. I think we knew it was going to happen here, but let's talk about how this goes. So Felicia falls out first. Bowie is then the next to fall. Cirie talks about how she doesn't want to win either of these vetoes. Her plan is to lay low as possible this week, and though two of her closest allies are on the block, she would have to decide who to take down if she won either vetoes. So she decides to throw it, and as such, she falls. Cory is the next to fall. Matt falls shortly after. America then does something really idiotic. She wants to throw the veto here, thing that Jag isn't going to put her or Cory up, and knowing that she's good with Blue. I don't know what she was thinking. Like, generally, I don't know what she was thinking here.
I'm like, why? That's not a good move.
Yeah, like, she literally could have won this, and, like, the thing is, they don't take America seriously as a comp threat. Like, this was her chance to prove to them that she actually can win, and then she didn't even try. So
I know she really did.
Whatever. But after a little over 2 hours, it's then down to Jag and Blue, which, I mean, Blue was really kind of killing it in this comp, I will say. With Jag ultimately, though, winning yet another veto. He's unstoppable at this point. Absolutely insane. What?
He did not need it.
No, I don't know why he won this, to be honest. Like, he didn't need to do this at all. But Blue is not sure if Jag is the Invisible HOH, but now that he's won the first veto, winning the second is even more important, and if she comes off, she must win it. So we get to the second veto, and I like this comp a lot, what they did in the second veto, because they're told that Jag will soon return, testing his power of flight. To win the second power of veto, they will all be testing their power of precognition. Each of them will secretly write down how long they think Jag will be able to fly around the academy from the moment his feet leave the ground until the moment he comes crashing down back to Earth. The person closest to the actual flight will win the second POV, but whichever two players guess the furthest from the correct time will each be receiving a punishment. So Cory says that while he thinks he's safe, he needs to win this veto to make sure that Blue doesn't win. Cirie says she wrote down a ridiculously high number to prevent from winning this veto. Jag then comes back and is told he has a chance to win some serious cash. For every 15 seconds he remains airborne, he will win $500. The clock will then stop the moment he comes crashing down and touches the ground down below. So it's then time to take flight. And Jag says he has no idea what anyone actually guessed, but he will hold on for dear life and hold on for as long as he can. For as long as he can, and hope Matt guesses correctly so they can then decide what he does this week. So after 110 seconds, he lets go, and as such, he has received $35,000. I thought this was pretty impressive. He held on for a while here. So it's then time to receive. I can't read today. It's then time to reveal everyone's guesses. So we will talk about their guesses here. Bowie guesses 482 seconds. Felicia guessed 600 seconds. Matt guessed 150 seconds. America guessed 75 seconds. Cirie guessed 600 seconds. Blue guesses 105 seconds, and Cory guesses 135. You can tell that Felicia and Cirie were not trying to win this because they both put 600, which I think is really funny.
So funny.
But this means at 105 seconds, Blue has guessed closest and as such has won the second veto. And I was honestly really happy for her here because I will admit, I've been saying for a while, Blue can't win a comp. She comes close, but she's not going to win. And she proved me wrong. She proved that she actually can win a comp and she does have potential. And I thought this was really good for her. Like, yes, this was a luck comp by many, by definition for sure. But I still think it was impressive that she was able to get the veto here. And I mean, look how more interesting it is when you do like a crapshoot versus like just a physical comp. Like I just found this one to be way more interesting. So since Felicia and Cirie have guessed the lowest, they will both be receiving a punishment. Felicia chooses a first crystal and receives something that I don't think they've done in a while. It's a solitary fortress where she now has to spend 24 hours alone in the comic room. I saw people saying she was going to do like a Dan's funeral here, but Felicia was not at risk of going. So she's happy to be by herself and get away from all those silly house guests for 24 hours, but without being able to strategize to convince Jag to use the veto on her, this may be a problem. I mean, I would be elated to be away for 24 hours after, 85 days? Like, yeah, get me out of there. So
yeah, that would be like, I mean, obviously, if you're on the block, it's like risky, but like, yeah, definitely after this, like, this cast is so insane. Like, yeah, it's good to go to
so long. Yeah, like it literally
definitely.
started in August and we're in October. So
Also, I think
Cirie says
I will say it's pretty cool that like Blue almost won the first veto, then she won the second.
Yeah, honestly. So Cirie says she's expecting the other punishments are something ridiculous and annoying because that's what it is on Big Brother. You can just tell like she's over this season. Like she's done. Like she's never coming back to Big Brother after this.
She's like, I just want to go home.
Yeah, so she ends up getting a superhero quick change, which means anytime the Academy asks, she is to head to the phone booth and change into her super suit. Usually I find this stuff really stupid, but I will say I feel like Cirie was like the best person to get this because it was really fun to watch.
Oh, it was so good.
So Jag says now that Blue has won the second veto, his nominations are going to have to change, but he has all the power with the first veto. And with America and Cory both coming for him, it's obvious to tell where this is going. So they should be scared. So Matt then talks to Jag, says he knew he wouldn't last 5 minutes because he knew he was dead after that last comp. Jag says he thought he would last like a minute. Matt says he did so well because he lasted like 2 minutes pretty much, which is really impressive considering what he was doing. So, I mean, he just was on the rope for like 2 hours and then killed that. So like, my God. Jag talks about how Blue is a badass and Matt agrees. Jag then brings up how they need to get rid of either Cory or America this week. Matt says that they've been selling it the whole time. And Jag then asks if he put both of them up. He has to think about that. And Jag says the Blue is obviously going to take herself off the block. He has to decide if he's going to use his veto or if he wants just one of them up. And we'll also have to figure out how to handle this situation with Blue because he's been lying to her all week about not being the invisible HOH. I mean, the answer is you don't have to do anything. Like, straight up, you don't have to say anything here because, like, you're the invisible HOH. You don't have to tell her the truth. Like, it's so stupid.
It's so dumb.
Like, I don't know. I don't think he had to tell the truth. You think he needed to? Because I feel like that could have easily been, like,
No, not at all.
So Felicia's then told that it's time to remove to the comic verse bedroom because her solitary confinement punishment is about to begin. She tells them all she'd love to come off the block. She's happy that she can't just sit there and they knock in anyone's faces and have peace is good, but she can't talk to anyone. She goes into the room and tries her best to entertain herself. She makes herself a sandwich, but is upset she has crunchy peanut butter, which is like classic Felicia. She has a toilet inside of a tent. She starts studying her days a bit, and she's just really dismayed by how boring this is. And she talks about how she feels like she's in prison. I thought this was a really funny segment for sure. So it's then time for Cirie's punishment. She goes to the diary room to put on her superhero costume, which she's annoyed by. She also wants to keep her identity secret by wearing her normal clothes. So she's told that she needs to try to test her superhero ability by doing various tasks like rolling from one side of the yard to the other, standing on one leg in the living room for 30 minutes, correctly guessing what's underneath a tray to test her x-ray vision. She keeps guessing fiber gummies and is like dead wrong, which I thought was really funny. And then eventually is right because they put that under there. This was a fun segment, like I alluded to before. I normally don't like seeing stuff like this. I feel like it just like takes away from like the episode and like the strategy and things like that. But I feel like Cirie getting this, like I said, made it a lot more exciting to watch. So I definitely enjoyed this quite a bit. So Cory says in regards to her dressing in a unitard in the backyard that the mighty have indeed fallen, which, I mean, yeah, he's right about that. So Cirie says she wishes one of the powers that came with this was super speed, so she could already be at the end of the week. So she's like very much over this.
I know.
So Cory goes to Matt and Jag. Jag asks how the veto should go. Cory thinks that it should just be Felicia and Cirie going up. So Cory knows this is a great opportunity for him to backdoor Cory. Cory knows. Jag, no, yeah. Well, Cory doesn't know that. He really should, but he's kind of in a pot committed to him. So Cirie should be the replacement. Felicia will go home, and that's fine. So that's what he thinks is going to happen here. Jag then tells Matt what he's thinking of doing is putting up both Cory and America up, as it will be blood on his hands either way, and they should make sure one of them goes, and they should be next to each other so they can campaign against each other. And Matt is pretty much all for this. He's feeling that America Cory are like way too comfortable and knows they want to take a shot at them, so they're going to beat them to it. This is what Jag should have done in the first place, but I digress. Like, I don't understand why he didn't just put them up initially. But Jag says that they will break their trust when they make this move anyway, so they don't have to say anything to them. He also thinks he really should have just made this move in the first place, which, I mean, at least he's honest about that. That's definitely what he should have done. So Matt agrees, says that everyone wants them out. Felicia is still in solitary confinement here. She's spending her time cleaning window ledges, dresser tops, and took the lint thing to wipe down all the mattresses and sheets to get all the lint off, and is slowly running out of stuff to do. But thankfully, her 24-hour punishment does end, and she rejoins everyone. So Cirie then wishes she had this punishment to escape the house and all these people and not have to wear this dumbass costume. So Jag then says he knew the moment America Cory go on the block, him being HOH will be exposed, and he'd rather have these conversations with people now before it happens so he can build trust instead of blindsiding everyone in the house. And again, you could have avoided this. Like, you didn't have to do this. Like, if you would have just put up America and Cory at the start, you could have framed Blue and you would have been all good because Blue wouldn't have used the veto. So like,
really, like he just did not think this through at all.
No, like I don't understand why he went about it this way. So he literally then tells Felicia, Cirie, and Bowie that he's the invisible HOH. He lets Felicia know that he will use the veto on her and will be putting up Mecole Hayes, and then lets Cirie and Bowie in on the plan. So now literally everybody in the house knows he's the invisible HOH. There's no reason to even do this twist anymore because he's exposed. Like, there's no point.
Yeah,
So
like, he literally ruined the twist. It's not like, oh, you should have only told Matt, Jag.
yeah, like I don't understand why he did all this. So Jag says it seems everyone's really excited about this plan to blindside them this week, and these conversations are going way better than he expected. But there's one that's going to be tricky, and that's talking to Blue. He needs to tell her that he's the invisible HOH that put her up. So he's going to change the narrative and drive home the idea that Mecole Hayes poisoned him against her. I thought this was like a really sloppy conversation.
Yeah.
Because he goes to talk to her and tells her about him being the invisible HOH. And he brings up how until now he thought he could trust Mecole Hayes. They've been saying things about her, saying she's going after him and Matt. They're snakes because they're saying the same shit to him. And he wants to apologize, saying it's not just their fault. They did villainize her, but he was also in a position where he could have made a decision this week and didn't. And she apologizes and lets him know what he's going to do. She's very excited and explains she will take herself off. One of them go up and he'll take Felicia off and the other will go up. She's overjoyed and says it's better than a Christmas present. And he says that he's about to have some Cam style fun. Blue then says she's really not upset that Jag put her on the block, even though she literally was his target. She's okay, I guess, because she's sure that Mecole Hayes were behind it. She believes everything happens for a reason. And the fact that Cory will be going up as a replacement after her is sweet poetic justice. And this is where I have to come for Blue a bit, just because of the fact that, like, listen, she won the veto. I'm happy she won the veto, but Blue is not a good strategic player. And this moment is really showing that because, like, here's the thing. Regardless of the fact that Mecole Hayes is behind this, Jag still did it. He could have said no. That's the thing. Like, if he really was with you, Blue, he would not have put you up. And the fact that he did, it doesn't ring any alarm bells is just really bad. And it really just shows the kind of player that Blue is, that she's not able to, recognize that this is a bad thing.
She's basically Jag's best friend, but he doesn't trust her anymore. And she's just, yeah. I feel like if she ever comes back, she'll like improve, but like, who knows? Like, maybe she'll regret it. Like, maybe she'll like actually, like, I could see her like at least looking back and being like, yeah, I did a lot of wrong things.
Yeah, like, I don't understand how she doesn't realize that, like, her basically volunteering Jag to go on the block and him being okay with it, and then her, pushing for Matt and Jag and him hearing about it and things like that. Mm-hmm. Why does that not make her think, maybe he's coming after me? Like, I just don't understand how she isn't able to put two and two together. It's like a level of delusional and naivety that is just baffling to me. Like, how do you not see that he is after you here? Why are you so convinced that it's Mecole Hayes? I generally think she just has this tunnel vision for Mecole Hayes. She has such a she just is so elated to see them go. It's like it's like the main thing that she wants, that she doesn't really care about anything else that's happening, and it's absolutely going to cost her. So exactly. Yeah, just very frustrating from Blue. She's been frustrating all season, but
she just has a lot to learn about being strategy, like being a strategist and everything.
Yeah, so Cory says he knows Blue's coming off the block. Jag should put him up. It'd be a great opportunity to get him out of the house, and he would be in a great position, but he doesn't think he's going to do it and just send Felicia home. So Jag then says Mecole Hayes are very comfortable in the game because they've allowed them to be their thing. It's going to be an easy week where they send Felicia home, but instead it's going to be a double blindside moment, and he's here for it. And for like the third week in a row, we end on a cliffhanger here without getting to see the actual veto ceremony, which Allie's now going to talk about Thursday, which was easily the best of the 3 episodes. There's actually quite a bit to talk about.
Oh yeah, I really like this episode, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time for the veto ceremony. Blue uses the first veto, but before she does, Cirie is alerted to change into her super suit and is told to glide around the house and wave to everybody. So she then decides to
That was funny.
That was hilarious. I loved it.
Yeah.
So Blue decides then to use the veto on herself, and it was funny when she's like, duh.
Yeah.
Like everyone was just laughing.
Yeah.
And then Jag then renoms America in her spot. As
We have to hear that annoying fucking voice again.
Oh my god, it's so frustrating. And then Jag
The
then,
invisible HOHs! America!
oh
Like,
my
shut
god.
up.
Like, no. Who's this voice? So Jag then uses his veto and takes Felicia off the block. So he then renoms Cory in her spot, which
Kind of epic, not gonna lie. Like, the move
yeah.
is really fucking flashy, and I do
Oh,
love
yeah.
that. But, like, as an invisible HOH, one, I mean, this is just way too much power. Like, this is absolutely, you literally are redoing your entire nomination. You're saying, fuck the entire week, fuck everything I've been doing. We're just going to do America and Cory instead, which is what you should have done in the beginning. And your fears have now been confirmed. Everybody knows that you're the invisible HOH now, and there's no way you can get out of it. And you absolutely did it to yourself. So, like, I love the move. I think it's really flashy, but like I do not like how he did it at all.
Yeah, it was definitely like very flashy and I love it, but like think it through better.
Yeah.
So
Or think at all, which he didn't.
honestly, he
He
didn't.
didn't even think about it. He just kind of did it.
He did it on a whim.
Yeah.
So Jag says while putting up AmeriCory wasn't the original plan, he and Matt have heard too many things about them and it started to feel like a betrayal. So because of that, the timeline just had to move up.
Yep.
Cory says he cannot sit there and be that upset at Jag, knowing he would have nominated him and Matt next week, and he's been preparing for the possibility for having to campaign against America, but he cares about her and also cares about the game, so he's going to try and stay this week.
And I honestly think Cory does handle things very well here. Like, I think he did all he needed to.
Like, he's just like, I respect this move, and then there's America who didn't.
Yeah, let's talk about America's approach, because it's a little different from Cory's.
Yep. So America, meanwhile, is crying to virtually anyone she comes near. She says she doesn't want to be here without Cory, and she doesn't want to leave either. She needs to stay calm. She didn't think it would be this soon and didn't think it'd be during Jag's HOH reign. Thinking they were good, but they were obviously not. She doesn't know what's going to happen, but she's going to talk to everyone and she will go off on Jag and Matt.
I love how she's just like, yeah, fuck them. I don't care.
She's like, I'm annoyed with both of them.
Yeah.
Blue says AmeriCory has been blindsided hard. They were so comfortable living in this or being in this house. It's poetic justice and it's at its finest. And she welcomes them to hell, which is honestly pretty funny.
Okay, but like it literally could have been. Never mind. Go ahead. Like it.
Yep.
It's so frustrating.
Oh yeah.
It literally could have been you, Blue. That's all I will say. It literally could have been you. If Jag didn't change his mind, it would have been you.
Well, if she didn't win veto.
And if she didn't win the veto, yeah.
So Cory says he was targeting Matt and Jag next week, and he's told no one except America. So he's trying to figure out exactly what happened this week. So Cory goes to talk to Jag, and he asks him some questions about why he's being targeted. And Jag asks if he was not trying to say that he and Matt were big targets, and it would be tough to beat them in the final. And Cory says he truly was protecting him in the short term, so that's his confusion. America then comes in a bit more abrasively than Cory asking Jag
just a bit
what the fuck is going on, and Jag asked both of them if they were trying to target him or Matt at any point, and America denies it. They have both told him every single conversation they've had with any of them, and he says he'd like to believe that. And she says with them done, it's going to be him and Matt next.
And I love how direct America is being here. Like it's really bad gameplay, so but it's really fun to watch.
Oh yeah, like this is like one of her not good moves at all, but like it was just so entertaining.
Yeah.
So Jag says America wasn't even his target, but then talked to his ally and threw him under the bus while he's HOH before the veto had even been used. And this may be the worst stretch of the gameplay all season and should be mad at no one but herself.
Okay, but you are one to talk, Jag. Like, you literally just changed your nominations haphazardly because, oh, now you have this piece of information. Like, you have
I know.
no room to speak here about bad gameplay.
Oh, I know. A lot of people are not very good strategists this season.
Yeah.
So Felicia,
Unless your name is Cirie Fields.
honestly. So
Or Matt Fields. Matt also is very good.
Oh yeah. So Felicia and Cirie talk about how good of a position they're in right now, with them talking about the two duos going after each other, and that if America wins HOH next week, it will be Matt and Jag or Blue going up.
Yeah, I mean they literally like can skate to the end at this point.
Oh yeah, they're like killing it.
Oh yeah.
So
well,
Cirie,
I don't know about Felicia. We'll talk about her a little bit later. She's not doing
Oh,
great,
yeah.
but this week she's doing fine.
Cirie says she's been waiting patiently for this war to erupt between the duos, and it looks like the first shots have been fired, and with Cory on the block now. She just needs to watch the fireworks, have her popcorn, and skate to the end of the game.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. She asks Felicia who would be next because no one is threatened by them, and she says it's enjoyable that they just get to sit back and watch them take each other out. So, oh my god, this part is so funny. I'm so glad it was in this episode.
Yeah, me too. I was worried they weren't going to show it.
I know. It's just so iconic. So America is washing her hands, and Jag tells her to let him know when she wants to talk again, and she tells him to fuck off, and he says that's perfect. Which
yeah,
I think
what they didn't show.
I think Matt also said that's childish.
Yeah, what they didn't show in the episode is that Jag was for some reason like really upset by this conversation. Like, are you expecting her to like be okay with this? Like, I don't understand why he was so like upset by what she said. He's like, how dare she tell me to fuck off and things like that. Like, it was not good.
Yeah, I think he's just very sensitive to these things.
I mean, yes, but he's also a hypocrite because like he does just as similar stuff. Like when Cirie was playing him, he's out here calling her a bully, but then when he's being called a bully, it's like, oh no, don't you dare. Like, you can't be okay with one and then like not be okay when it's happening to you. Like, it's just like you can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you're upset with that behavior, you should also be upset when you are performing the same behaviors. Like, that's all I will say on that.
So America says to Cory that she knows she shouldn't try to isolate herself right now, but she doesn't even want to look at them. He says that he understands, and she says this is her fault. She doesn't know what Blue told them, but it's her fault, especially since it wasn't him going around saying anything, it was her. He says he can't go scorched earth, and she says she can. She doesn't mind doing it because she doesn't care to be in there with any of them, and he tells her he doesn't want her to do something stupid that she'll later regret. And she says she wouldn't regret it. He just doesn't want her to roll over and die, and she says she won't.
I thought this was a good conversation between them because like you can tell she was just ready to like lay down and die, and he's like, no, don't do that. Like, this is not your fault.
Yeah, there's another thing on the feeds. I remember like, I think he checked on her or something, and she's just like, I think she was just like, how are you doing or whatever, and she's like, die, or what do you want to do? And she's just like, die.
Yeah.
America's chest and heart hurt. She knows it has nothing to do with Cory. He's such a good player who's so careful with his words, and she isn't. She's very sloppy and feels like she was the worst player, like she should have known better.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely like America's biggest flaw is that she just can't keep her mouth shut about certain things.
That's true. So Cory says it's certainly frustrating that he thinks he's on the block because of conversations America's had with Blue without him knowing. It sucks, but there's no reason to dwell on it. American can go on a scorched earth campaign, and he fully respects it, and he would love to watch. But what he needs to do is be fun and make jokes and have all this stuff roll off his back. He's not trying to just survive the vote, he's trying to win the game. America says she's feeling so hurt and so betrayed because she really did have Blue's best interest in mind, and then she goes and rats her out, which is not cool. She goes to confront her about it, and she asks her what was the goal in her doing this bit. Because while she's good with Matt and Jag now, does she really think they would take her to 3? Blue tells her,
yeah, exactly.
True. Blue tells her she's playing her game the way she wants to at the end of the day, and she's not going to have her tell her what it looks like for her, whether it includes Matt and Jag or doesn't. And America says that's stupid, and Blue says she knows what she did, and she knows it feels slighted, but that was her fighting for her life to be here, and she says she's sorry it comes at the expense of her and Cory, and she's been there before, having to be against someone on the block she really appreciates. But lets her know she is not on an island, and though it does feel the way she's open to whatever, it's not a closed door for her. And America says she's just feels really betrayed.
I mean, the problem with Blue is that she's like so undyingly loyal to Matt and Jag, when really she has no reason to be. Like, they were willing to cut her this week. I don't understand it.
Yep, she really, she's like too loyal to them.
Yeah. Where, like, if she teamed up with America, like, she'd be in such a better spot right now.
I know, because they did have a final 2 for a while.
I don't think Blue ever took it seriously.
No, I think she did. It was just more so like things been said. She just was, and then she stopped trusting her.
Yeah.
So Blue says she's sorry to America that her boyfriend is leaving, but she's been there, done that, so welcome to her world. She's wondering why America is throwing a hissy fit right now. She does understand that she's a vote and she still has to campaign. If it's really her campaign, then she wishes her luck on getting her vote. Cirie is then told it's time to suit up and test her super stealth by hiding and scaring another house guest.
I don't know why we spent more time on this. They literally did a whole segment in the last episode.
I know. Like, ugh.
I mean, I enjoyed watching it, but like,
Me
why
too.
are we doing this again?
It's just not needed so many times.
Yeah, like, I enjoy it because of Cirie's reactions. I don't enjoy it because of the stupid shit they're making her do.
Oh, yeah. She's later told to check the storage room, stay in the pool for 2 hours, doing 100 laps in the backyard. She's not thrilled to be doing this at all, especially knowing her closest allies of Jared and Izzy have been gone and she's been alone. The calls become more frequent as the days go on, and eventually she is told to wake up one of the house guests from a bad dream, which she is especially irritated by, as her superhero hours are strictly 9 to 5. That was funny.
Yeah, and I think she woke up like Cory in America.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Yeah, it was really funny.
I think I heard like America say like thank you superhero or something.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. So Blue goes to talk to Cory, and he asks her if she thought he was HOH this week. To which she tells him she thought it was America. He tells her Friday morning was Jag, and Thursday he was basically saying if he should put Blue up or backdoor her. And then Cory says there are 5 votes in this house and he needs 3 to stay. And while he and Blue don't have much common ground, they do have a common enemy, as she was just nominated in this house by Jag, and that's the target. And if they can band together on this anti-Jag crusade, he may have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, this was really unexpected, but I mean, with how America has been handling things, I wasn't too surprised to see that the vote may be potentially flipping.
That would have been very interesting if Blue actually teamed up with him.
Yeah, I mean, well, America was in the beginning of the week like, hey, just vote me out. So, like...
True. She was just really upset.
Yeah.
So Cory goes to talk to Felicia and says his big enemy is Matt and Jag. He wants to draw the line between him and them for everyone else. He tells Cirie basically the same thing, and he says in a world he's still here. Everyone is safe for at least 2 weeks, and there will be only a couple more times this season when they have a chance to take them out. And they made a massive move against him in America, and he thinks there's an opportunity to do so to miss to them on Thursday.
Yeah.
Cirie seems convinced at this pitch, thinking Cory has a better shot at taking them out than America does. She says even though she can probably get Felicia, she needs to figure out where to get a third vote. She knows Matt and Bowie are out of the question, so it leaves Blue, who's been gunning after Cory this whole time. And she knows it will be a tough sell. So she talks to her about it, and Blue agrees that Matt and Jag will have to go down the line because nobody can beat them. And Cirie brings up how this is the reason to keep Cory in so he can go after Matt and Jag, whereas while America would do it, it likely wouldn't be as successful, at which Blue agrees it's not a bad idea. And Cirie says she's riding with her no matter what, and she agrees.
Yeah, would have been interesting to see if this actually happened.
I know, it would have been very spicy. Drink some water.
I'm trying.
Also, take some
I'm getting over a cold.
I know, take some medicine.
Mm.
You were at the tail end.
Oh God, not that.
Cirie is happy to see Blue may be on board with this, and it's shocking, but if she's on board and she gets Felicia, they only need 3 votes. She then talks to Felicia to get her on board, and it seems she is also receptive to the idea, and thinks it's actually a smart move to keep Cory, as she may go from final 8 to 5 through doing so. Felicia asks Cirie if Cory would take them to the final 3, and if America goes, and Cirie says he knows he can't be Matt and Jag in the end. Felicia says she's heard his point, and it all makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that if Cory had stayed, I think he probably does steer towards Cirie and Felicia.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
He's not going to work with Matt and Jag.
I know. He would definitely work with Cirie and Felicia, and I think he would team up with Blue too.
Yeah, probably. At that point, he has to.
Mm-hmm. It would have been pretty spicy, honestly, to see. So Cirie says the only problem with this is Matt and Jag might feel some type of way, but they would still have to go after Cory, and if he's here, we'll still have to go after Matt and Jag. All right, so it's then time for the eviction, where she announces to them that BB Comic Week is officially over, as well as Cirie's punishment, which obviously Cirie is very happy about.
Yes.
Cory makes a pitch, at first mocking Cameron and him constantly calling himself daddy and telling his daughter he misses her so much. Which
this was interesting, I thought.
Yeah.
I will say
it was funny, the daddy part, but he really shouldn't have mentioned her his daughter's name.
That's the thing. I think what he should have done is he should have been Daddy's misses you all in the jury house or something like that. I think that would have been funnier. But I think that I think him saying his daughter's name a little icky. I didn't really like that.
No, that's not okay to whenever you mentioning someone's kid name, that's just not good. So he says this has been the most incredible experience of his life, and it's credited to all of them, and thanks them. But he'd be remiss at the fan of the game, and not blow up somebody's game, and throws out Bowie's name, and then says he's just kidding, and he brings up Jag and says he knows he's the invisible HOH, and he asks for all of them to do with that information as they please. Also, I will say both of these. I will say overall, both of these were a really good pleas.
Yeah, even though they were very unserious.
Oh yeah, definitely. America then makes a pitch saying that to all the AmeriCory haters and doubters, this is their shout out. They are the wind beneath their wings, and we'll watch them soar. And she says if she stays, she will for sure be going after the Aston moron and the dumb blonde. It's not game strategy at all. It's personal. She tells Cory she adores him, and she's so proud of him, and it's been an honor to play this game with him. And she's so excited for Wendy's Baconator fries date, and thanks him for being normal.
Which I will say, thank him for being normal. That's a callback to very early on in the season when Cory said that she was the only normal one. So I thought that was actually kind of cute.
Oh, I thought it was adorable. We should have a Wendy's Baconator date sometime.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cute.
I got you Wendy's when we went to American Dream.
Yes, and I got you Taco Bell.
Yes, she was my Wendy's date for BB Can.
Yes. So even with Jag exposed, Julie still says the Invisible HOH will not be casting a vote to evict in order to conceal their identity. So he obviously just goes into the room, like, just he just like goes into the room and just says hi.
Yeah, I don't understand why they even did this because it's like at this point everyone knows Jag's the Invisible HOH. Like, there's no reason to even hide it anymore.
Yeah. So when Cirie goes to vote, she says it was for Jared and Izzy, because obviously those were
That was
her
iconic. I like
main.
that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
yeah.
And though there
Especially
was,
because like Corey mentioned very early on in the season that like I'm gonna beat Cirie, and he did not.
I know. And though there was a potential vote flip in the works, it is not successful as Corey is evicted by a unanimous vote.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was ever actually gonna happen, but it would have been interesting if it did.
Yeah, definitely. It would have been a very interesting flip, but I mean,
Yeah.
I love both of them. If I had to choose someone to go, I probably would have said Corey because I like America a
Yeah.
little bit more, but I love both.
I do think between the two, I think America is the bigger threat. But yeah,
Yeah, I can see that too.
mainly because like she's not winning comps. She is someone that doesn't withhold information. Like, she's very fluid. Like, she's
Yeah.
definitely, I think, the bigger threat out of the two.
Oh,
But you know,
definitely. So when he goes to kiss goodbye or kiss America goodbye, she jokingly starts rolling her tongue around like a washing machine as a callback, which I thought that was really funny.
that was really funny. I enjoyed that.
So in his interview with Julie, she asks him about being blindsided by the Invincible HOH and then getting nominated. And Corey says it was the right move because if he were to have won HOH this coming week, he would have been putting Matt and Jag up. And after being called out like 7 speeches, he feels he was in danger until the veto meeting is done. And noms are locked, so he was very uneasy this week, but he didn't see a double blindside coming. That was a bit much.
It was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. So he talks about why he couldn't talk his way out of being evicted because there simply just isn't enough house guests left. Blue is off the table as she's been targeting him forever. Matt was part of the plan. Felicity was not a fan of his, and the votes just weren't there. But there's more he could have done. It just likely would have entailed him making America feel super guilty, and then just threw in the towel, which that felt like a crossing a line that he wasn't going to do. And then, in regards to America throwing Matt and Jag under the bus, he knew about this conversation, so he could have been more proactive in trying to fix that problem. But he also feels like Jag was just looking for a reason to put him America up, and this may have been the reason, but it's not America's fault as he's been targeted for the past 3 to 4 weeks, which is true.
Yeah.
Literally, like everyone's called him out.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks being with America didn't hurt too much because, in the same way they are a pair, in the same way Jared and Blue were, and in the same way Matt and Jag are. It didn't work out because him and America can't win competitions, but maybe she's got a couple left in her.
I would say
Julie.
there's other reasons why it didn't work out, but we'll get into that.
Julie then highlights his physical transformation in the house, and he says he can't explain it. That was funny.
Yeah, I mean, he literally looks like a different person now when you look at him like the first few weeks of the game.
Oh, I know.
Like the mustache and the bronzer, like he looks like a completely different person.
He really does. He's like more grown up.
Yeah.
So he then gets goodbye messages from Jag, Blue, who shades him that he isn't as smart of a player as he thought he was, and Cirie, who says he was smarter than to rub his showmance in everybody's face and to give Cameron her love. I was just so
Yeah,
funny.
I wanted to mention this for a
Yeah,
second. I saw a lot of people. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, I just thought it was so funny when Blue and Cirie just shaded him.
I saw a lot of people say, "Oh, Cirie and Blue just lost Corey's jury votes." No, this is Corey we're talking about. Cory is not a very serious person anyway. He's always joking around. He's always like making fun of himself. Like him and America have been very much like that all season.
Oh yeah.
He's the last person that's going to be upset at something like this. So I don't think that in any way, like, oh, he lost, like Cirie lost a jury vote here. Like, I just don't buy into that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's really hard to say. Like, I don't think he's gonna be that bitter of a player. Maybe,
No, I don't. I don't.
maybe. I mean, I could see him being a little bitter towards like Jag and Matt, but I don't think anyone
I don't
else.
think he'd be bitter at them for the goodbye messages, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Like, I don't think he'd be upset about that.
agreed.
I
So,
think he'd just find him funny.
yeah, agreed. I think so too. And then, of course, America sends him a nice message as well. And then Julie asked,
Which
like,
apparently she did say, I love you, and then they didn't show it, which I
oh
think is
wow,
really weird.
that is, unless I don't know why they would just shorten it like that, but whatever.
Yeah, because I guess on the feeds, like, she said that she loved him, and then they didn't show that on the show.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, especially with, like, how much they put stock into, like, showmances and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what happened.
Me neither. So Julie asks what his hopes are with her when this is all over, and while he at first jokingly says nothing serious, he can't. He says he says he can't wait to spend more time with her. She's amazing, and he can't wait for all of this to be over. Without him in the house, she thinks he's winning as half of America Cory.
I don't know about that, but sure. All right, let's talk about Cory for a little bit. I think Cory came into this game in like a really good position. He knew a lot of what was going on. He had really good reads and things like that. And then I think once he got into a showmance, he just kind of lost the plot. I think he generally didn't expect for it to happen. He didn't really know how to play a game in a showmance. Well, he really should have benefited from it because most of the time
Yeah,
being in a showmance is a good thing on Big Brother because people tend to align with the two that are in a showmance. Cory wasn't able to play that way. He wasn't able to call the shots. He didn't know how to be in this power position. And I feel like that's ultimately what got him to this point. I don't blame what America did last week for him going up. I think it's weeks of just really bad calls. And also the two of them just never being able to get on the same page in the game. They always were playing like wildly different. And it just never really benefited either of them. So I feel like
yeah,
that's the reason Cory left. It has really nothing to do with what America did. Yes, it didn't help, but I think it's more so just the fact that he was not able to adapt in the way
yeah,
that he needed to.
yeah. Like he was off
So
to a good start in the beginning, and then he just really was having a hard time handling a showmance and
yeah.
things like that. Um, Like, obviously, they were super cute and entertaining, but, like, he just couldn't really handle them game-wise, so it was just yeah, he kinda, like, went downhill there.
Yeah, he did. He did. I really did enjoy watching him as a player, but I
Me
definitely
too.
do think he was a bit of a disappointment the more he went on.
Yeah, definitely, like, if he didn't, turn on, like, Izzy and Jared, he would have been in such a better spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think him doing that at first was like a good move, but I think if he hadn't done that, it really would have like abide him a lot more time in the game. I think he would have
Yeah,
been able to do a lot more if those two were still there.
exactly, because they were working with
So
him, and, like, I remember he was, like, not
yeah,
even he was upset to go for Jared and Izzy too.
yeah, but you know,
But, I
you live,
mean,
you learn.
he's a great player in person, and, I mean, hopefully he has a second chance sometime. Also, I'd love to see, like, him and his brother in some kind of duo game.
Get them on Amazing Race. That'd be so good.
Oh, yes, that would be so amazing. That'd be so much fun
Yeah.
because 'cause
I
they're
will
both
say
such
it is a sad day because Zach Wurtenberger has officially changed his Twitter picture. It's no longer Hisam. So, you know, it's a
Oh,
sad day.
that is a sad day. But, yeah, so
Yeah, it's
him
now just back to his regular photo.
Zach and Corey are such, like, trolls too, so, like, they
Oh,
would be
yeah.
so iconic on The Amazing Race.
Yeah, they would. Or get them on buddy games
Oh
when they
my
get
god.
older.
Yes, that's a show we also need to finish.
keep forgetting about that show, but yeah.
So Julie then announces to us that with 3 weeks left in the game, next week will be a double eviction, and this time around, both house guests will be leaving for good, and that's how it ends.
Thank God. I'm very happy about that. We're gonna talk about the double later on, obviously. But with that, we will talk about Sunday's episode. Okay, so it's very clearly the same day, as you can tell. It's still very late at night. We definitely didn't
Well,
pass out. And now we're doing
yeah,
the
we
rest
were
of
just
this
like
again.
before we finished these last 2 episodes, we just wanted to we just were so tired last night, so we're just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
we'll finish this in the morning.
Yeah, now I will tell you right now, I don't have much to say about this week because this week has been really boring, in my opinion. So I really don't have a ton to talk about here. We're going to talk about Sunday's episode. So we see America says that it's really hard to hold back the tears as Cory was her rock in here, so she's going to miss him so much. It sucks. She's here all alone by herself, and she forgets that she's not wearing waterproof mascara. Blue says that it's no surprise that she's been wanting Cory out of the house for so long, and the fact that they were both blindsided under her veto after she was the target. She's so glad that extra weight is finally gone. So she feels like she can kind of just move on now. She's okay, which I don't know about that, Blue. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see, right?
Cirie then says that she was really debating keeping Cory in this game and flipping the votes to keep him, but she couldn't do it. And the reason is because while she loves him as a person, in this game, she despises him because of him taking out Jared and Izzy and him being the reasoning behind them going. So for him to walk out this door knowing those two things, she's very happy to send him out. And honestly, fair. That's a very valid reasoning as to why she needed him out. So yeah. Jag says getting rid of Cory was huge for the Minutemen. They are one step closer to making it to the end. They just now need to focus on winning the next HOH because he knows making it to the end because he knows America is pissed at him or Matt for making this move. And under no circumstances can she win because if she does, their game will be on the line. So he then goes to her. We get this actually very funny exchange between them where he's like, hey, it'd be funny if you didn't cook me this week. And funny. She's like, it'd be funny if you didn't, if you won. And she asks why he would come after her. And he says that they'll talk after he wins. And she says that she will win. I thought this was a funny scene. I like this.
That was really funny. I like that.
Yeah. Cirie then whispers to Felicia that they're watching them around America, so they really got to be careful. Felicia says that Cory's gone, but the house is still in turmoil, and her and Cirie are going to sit back and watch how it all plays out, keep their noses clean, and mentions how they recently made a Final Four deal with Matt and Jag. They solidified this on day 77. Jag mentions that he's relieved she brought them up as people she wants to go to the end with because he wants both of them in their squad. Jag says that he and Matt have made alliances with a lot of people, and one of those paths could be with Felicia and Cirie. And when it comes to physical competitions, he's confident in his abilities to beat the both of them, which, I mean, sure, but it's literally just because the comps aren't equitable towards them. So she talks to Matt about the Final Four Jag proposed. He says he's comfortable with it, and the four of them later talk in the comics room and officially solidify it. Now, remember, they're supposed to be in a Final Four. We're going to mention that when Felicia does something a bit very confusing.
Oh, yeah.
So Felicia says that alliances shift here all the time, so they're just trying to stay off the radar while all of this internal chaos winds itself down to the Final Four. And I mean, yeah, Felicia and Cirie at this point are in the best spots. They're the most locked for the end. It seems like they have the least amount of chance to go in this double until something happens later that we'll talk about. So, yeah. Bowie, who I will say right now, really annoying this week.
Yeah, she's really frustrating. I will say her and also Matt are very frustrating this week.
Yeah, and the other thing with Bowie is I feel like her HOH week was so good. I'm starting to think it was just a fluke because she literally says things this week like, oh, I don't care about winning this game. I just want to make it to the 100 days. Like, that's all I care about. And it's like, okay, cool. You can go. Like,
she literally just wants to she just wants to be runner up. Like, what is she, like, that's not good.
It's like, yeah, she's the Victoria, she's the Christmas, like, she's not here to win. It's very frustrating. I don't like players like that,
Okay,
especially at this point in the game.
Victoria actually probably would have won in the end.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think she ever like really wanted it. That's the thing. So,
or maybe she was just really loyal to them.
I don't know. I'd have to watch that season again, but I just remember being very annoyed by the way she played.
Yeah,
So Bowie says it's very important she wins this HOH as she doesn't know where anyone else in the house stands. And before Cory left, he told her some things that got her thinking, and it's making her doubt everything. So we get this very unusual moment where we get a confessional from Cory, even though he's out of the house, where he says before he leaves, he's worried that his pitches aren't effective enough. So he decides to lie to her to make her paranoid about Matt and Jag. He makes up a lie that Matt and Jag don't actually want to take her to 3 and instead want to take Felicia and Cirie, and to be careful with the both of them. And here's the thing. I get why she's worried, but at this point, if you have trust in Matt and Jag, like, this lie shouldn't mean anything at this point. So Bowie doesn't know what to make of this. She knows that they can see that they think this is a more winnable option, taking those to the end. And she's been in this position, having been blindsided. She doesn't want it to happen again, but she does have to have a chat with Jag, and she finds out that if that was actually said. So she goes to talk to him, asks him what he's saying. He's putting up next week, and he says he hasn't said anything about that. So he hasn't said her name in any circumstance to go up, as her and Matt are the only people he 100% trusts. And she says that it's really hard watching him, Felicia, Cirie together. All of that stuff doesn't look good, and it makes her wonder if they all trust each other more. Jag says he feels like she doesn't trust him as much, and she says she does. She's just really nervous. So, yeah. Jag says that Bowie's right. They have talked about this with Cirie and Felicia.
Whenever people tell like Bowie anything, she's always doubting them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame her for that because of what's happened in, very early on in the game. But she never really tried to fix her positioning. That's the thing. Like, she just kind of went with what she had, and she just decided to not trust Cirie and Felicia for the rest of the game.
Exactly.
So, I think if she was more willing to do that, I think Bowie would be in honestly a more winning position right now. But it seems like that's not what she cares about.
We thought she had a good shot after her first, like during her HOH reign, but now not so much.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened. It could have literally just been because she was in power and now she's not. So
yeah, probably.
So basically, Jag says that Bowie's right. They have talked about this with Cirie and Felicia, but they've also had conversations with everyone to ensure that the Minutemen make it to the end. And he needs Bowie to protect him if she wins HOH. So her coming for him with this is a huge red flag. She says that she's been holding it together and she's going to cry and clean herself up right now. He says he doesn't want her to be nervous about him or about Matt. So Bowie says that even though Jag told her what Cory said isn't true, she has been burnt so many times in the house, so it's really hard to trust. The only person she can trust is herself, so she needs to win this HOH so she can protect herself from any other nasties out there. I'm not confident that if she won this, she wouldn't have just done what Matt and Jag told her to do. Like, I'm really not confident about that.
Yeah, I'm not either. Like, she's like too loyal to them.
Yeah. So she talks to Matt and says that if she wins today, they can control everything. So it's then time for the HOH comp. The competition will be played individually by each remaining 7 house guests. Yet another comp that's going to be played individually. Basically, there are dental records from each winner of a previous BB season. And strangely, Johnny Mac is hosting the comp, even though we just heard some things about him preseason that would make it so they shouldn't want to bring him back. But whatever.
I think they just did that because he's a dentist.
I mean, I guess I just feel like because this was literally like before the season started, there was all this like weird shit coming out about like tweets he liked and things like that.
Yeah.
Like look into it. Johnny Mac has gone down a really weird rabbit hole
He
recently, and
really has. Like,
I
it sucks
definitely would
because
not want to bring him back.
like, he was so iconic before that. Now we're like, can't really support him
He
anymore.
was the number one. He was the number one person I wanted them to bring back for All Stars. I'm not even I'm being so real with you right now. Like, I was like very high on him, and now hearing the things I did, like, I was not interested to see him back. He also looks completely different. Like, he's got like blonde hair now, and he looks more like, he honestly fits the part of this like deranged dentist that much better.
He kind of does,
So
honestly.
yeah, so basically they will need to leave their x-ray room and begin to search the dungeon for 5 skulls. Each one has a unique set of teeth. Once they think they've memorized the teeth's unique attributes, they will head back to their room and find the dental record that matches the skull and then place it in the correct holder. When they think they have correctly identified all 5 skulls, they are to hit their button. If their light turns green, they have correctly identified all 5 skulls and are the new HOH. But if the light turns red, they are incorrect and must figure out where they went wrong. He also recommends they move quickly so they don't become the next skull in his collection. And yeah, so it's literally another running back and forth comp with memorizing information. So what do you think happens here? I don't know. Who knows what could possibly happen? I will say that Cirie and Blue come pretty close, but ultimately Jag wins HOH again.
Ugh.
It's so frustrating
Like,
because
love
like
Jag as a person, but like he doesn't need another HOH. Like, especially
that is 5 comps in a row now. Like, that's fucking insane. Actually, at this point 4, but later on he gets to his 5th. Listen, is it cool that he's played a lot of comps, that he's really dominated? Yes, but
yeah,
I want that to happen when it's actually fair for him to play. Mecole last season was cool to see win a lot of comps because he was really good at a lot of different stuff. It wasn't just like, you know, he was good at mental stuff. He was good at physical comps. He was good at like he had a lot of different skills, whereas Jag is winning these comps not because he's like very multifaceted in terms of them. It's because they're basically doing the same type of comp over and over again. And at this point, I have to assume they just want Jag to win. Like, it's pretty obvious with the way these comps have been done. And also, like, them letting Jag play in this HOH was such a bad call because they were stupid to think he wasn't just going to go ahead and win this again. Like, it's like the most boring outcome we could have possibly had this week.
Yeah, it's just like just for like, so it's not predictable, someone else should have won.
Yeah, they really should have. And especially because like Cirie was so close. She nearly won.
I know. Yeah, her and Blue both. Oh my god. Like,
yeah, Jag
also another comp Blue came close for.
I know, yeah, she's which is pretty crazy. So Jag is really grateful about this. And basically, you know, he says that there could have been a lot of bad outcomes this week, but this is not one of them. America says that she really wanted to win this for Cory, but feels like an idiot, especially with what she said to Jag during his speech. And now he's HOH, and she's going to have to backtrack from everything she said the last couple of days and figure out what she's going to do. I will say, I think America has played this week very well for the most part, especially knowing the position that she's in. I've been impressed by how she's been playing. So
yeah, she's actually been doing really well because she is like on her own basically. So
yeah,
she's just really just fighting just to stay.
It kind of makes you wonder, like, how would she have played this game without Cory? You know. So Jag says he's hyped to be the new HOH, this time for it to not be invisible, but he's one step closer to this $750,000. But there's plenty of targets for both him, both on his and Matt's back. So this is a huge win for the Minutemen. And I mean, yes, everyone was coming after Matt and Jag this week, but that's why I didn't want them to win. I wanted to see them get targeted. It would have been so much better. But, you know. Cirie says that she's never fully trusted Jag and doesn't feel he ever trusted her. Hang on one second. Sorry, Violet's texting me. Shout out to her as always. But Jag is aligned with him, Felicia and Matt, as well as Bowie, Blue and Matt. So this makes his predicament peculiar. She's hoping that she's good with the numbers getting small. There aren't many options for the picking. So she really just hopes everyone keeps her name out of her mouth. So Blue says she's very happy that Jag won HOH, which I have no which can I just say right now? I have no fucking idea why. Even though, yes, they cleared the air, she was literally his target this week. I don't know why she assumes that she's so safe this week. Like, Blue is just so infuriating this week.
Her and Bowie are way too loyal to them.
Well, at least with Bowie, they intend to take her far. Blue, they literally want to cut. Like, I don't understand it. So basically, she says that, they cleared the air this week. The target's off her back, now moved on to America's. She's a big threat to Jag's game, especially because she's made very clear she will be targeting him. I have no idea why she isn't just trying to align with America here. She knows that they're in a similar position. Like, her wanting America out so badly is making it so she can't see the forest for the trees. Like, she doesn't realize what's actually going on. And it's just so frustrating because I feel like Blue has massive potential as a player. She's so incredibly feisty. She is just someone that is like so blunt and direct, and that's great to see. We don't see that often in House Guests, but her reads are so bad, and it's absolutely what's hurting her game. So
it really
it's
is
very frustrating.
Yeah.
So Bowie says she really needs to win this HOH to make sure that she is safe. She really doesn't want to go on the block this week as a pawn and would have had a hard time moving forward with Matt and Jag if that happened. But really, she just hopes all that stuff is behind them and she can't trust them going forward. Sure, Bowie. I don't buy that she would have turned on Matt and Jag, but sure. Based on things she said this week, like I don't. Prior to this week, yes, but based on things she said this week, I don't buy that. So Matt says when they both need it most, Jag pulled out the win. For them, he feels completely safe with Jag, and this couldn't have worked out better. So Cirie tells Matt she was close, which Matt tells her that he needs to win HOH, and he feels bad, like Jag's doing all the work. Felicia walks over and asks who he's going to put up next to America. Matt tells them there's really only two choices, Blue and Bowie. But if he puts up Bowie, that's bad because she'll be a wreck. Felicia tells them that Bowie hasn't been on the block yet and that she should be okay with going on the block. And yeah, I mean, this is exactly why you should push for Bowie. She's the only person left in the house besides Matt that has not gone on the block. That's very threatening at the end. So like, I like what Felicia's doing, and something she does later, I don't, but I like what she's doing here.
Me too.
So she believes that Matt and Jag have a side alliance somewhere. Every time that someone mentions Bowie's name, they kind of tiptoe around it. They can't put her up. She doesn't care. Bowie Jane has never sat on the block, but she sat on the block 5 times. She could care less about Bowie Jane's feelings because she's a grown woman. So put her on the block because she'll be okay. So Felicia tells Matt and Cirie that Jag, should be able to explain to her, which Matt agrees with. So we get kind of this emotional segment with America where she's pacing around the house emotionally in the bathroom. She really wanted to win this for Cory and get everyone back, but it's not going to happen. Now she's going through her brain, figuring out how she can fix things with Jag immediately. She talks about how all these iconic Big Brother players were making moves when they didn't have power. Dan's funeral was done when he was going to get evicted. When he was at his most vulnerable, he turned it around at 180 and managed to stay and make it to the end. She feels at her most vulnerable right now. She can turn this around. She has to. She's going to go for Jag and make a deal this week, cook up some sort of deal, and he won't nominate her. How do you feel about like America's chances right now?
I mean, based on what people have said, like that she's right now, as at this point, she's the target. But I like that she's trying to fight to like at least make some deals, just to even if she doesn't trust Jag or Matt, she's at least trying to like stay safe this week, which is great. But once she like if she stays and wins the next HOH kind of thing, I feel like, and she puts them up, I feel like she might lose them like in the jury.
Yeah, I think
because honestly, someone like Jag, I don't think he would. I feel like he'd be bitter at her.
Yeah, I think that definitely is what would happen. But the thing is, like, they don't respect America already, so she's kind of in this lose-lose position.
Yeah.
It really just makes me think that, like, she should have at least tried to, like, win, like, that comp that she threw. She absolutely should have won, because
Yeah.
they would definitely respect her more. And I hate that so much of this house, it's all about, oh, you didn't win comps, so I don't respect you. But
Yeah.
that's kind of the culture of the house. And when that is the culture of the house, you have to kind of play into that. America
Mhm.
has not done so. And so I feel like she's kind of in a losing position either way right now.
Mhm.
But with that said, she does talk about in this episode how many showmances have, like, made it to the end after
True.
their showmance left early. And I mean,
That's
that could
true.
still happen for America. Like, she
It
could
could, yeah.
be Rachel Reilly. She
I
could
feel
be
like
Jordan
with
Lloyd, and we just don't know
if
it.
she's in the I feel like though if she's in the end, she's really gonna have to, like, fight for people's votes, because I feel like the only
Yeah.
for sure one would be Cory.
If she's next to Bowie, I think she could win, but
Yeah,
that's
I
about
could
it.
see her winning against Bowie, but yeah, it's hard to say.
So, yeah. Her and Felicia is a toss up. I honestly don't know. Anyone else, I think she loses. But yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
So then they do something that they have not done all season. And to
Yeah,
be honest, I was surprised they did it here. We get an HOH room segment where everybody goes up to Jag's HOH room. He models his winners out. Oh, wait, that's the wrong show. That doesn't happen on Big Brother US. I'm so used to them doing it on BB Can and not BBUS. I
I
started writing
know.
the wrong thing. Oh my God. It's not like I purposefully wrote that to be silly. But he reads a letter from his parents. He says that his parents and siblings are his best friends in the world. Seeing the letter, the picture, and seeing all that serves a reminder for why he's here. He's not going to give up until he makes it to the end, until he's sitting in those final two chairs. Matt says that seeing all these photos and letters is making him think of his family at home. Jag is literally his brother in the house, and it's great to see all these things about his life. He thinks the best photo is the wedding photo. That picture was taken week 4 when he was supposed to be evicted. It just kind of means so much knowing that he used a superpower on him. He didn't have to miss that in vain. Everyone's saying goodbye, and now it's time for everyone to get out of the HOH room so him and Jag can finally talk about the Minuteman's next plans. So, I mean, yeah, Matt doing that definitely did change a lot, but I also
Oh, yeah.
think if Matt hadn't used that superpower, I feel like this point in the season would be a lot less boring than it is right now. So, yeah, I think in hindsight, like, him using that superpower, it definitely did halt a lot of the momentum for this season. Because Jag, when
Definitely.
he's on power, is an absolute snore.
I
So
know. Ugh. It's
Jag
like
tells Matt his thoughts, which are that he thinks he got a lot of blood on his hands last week. So
I
truthfully,
will
he's
say,
just deciding,
I do prefer underdog Jag.
yeah. I mean, he's still really bad at the game, but yeah. Um,
Yeah.
He says he's assigned between who sits next to America. He asks if it's Felicia or Blue. Jag then says the House expects him to nominate America, and he thinks that he has to, which he really doesn't have to.
Not really.
He has deals with everyone in the House, but she's one person he doesn't have any deals with. He just needs to figure out who sits next to her and ultimately who his target is. I don't know why he's not targeting Bowie here. I feel like that's something that people would vibe with. I feel like it
Mhm.
brings America closer to him.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that just makes more sense at this point. Like, I know that he
100%.
sees Bowie as, like, his third, but I don't really think he needs to. So Jag says the House expects him to not. Oh, I just read that. So Jag tells Matt that Bowie needs to calm down, and if he puts her up, he loses her, which Matt agrees with. And I mean, yeah, he's right about that. Bowie would absolutely go if she's on the block.
Mhm.
So Jag tells him that Cory talked to her, and after that, she talked to him, and she was crying. Jag tells him that he thought that she trusted them more, which Matt tells him that it's a hard because she was so emotional, and he was wondering if they ever say they need to go up as a pawn, she'll lose her. Matt then tells her that she has to know they're getting so low in numbers, which Jag tells him that she was doubting them, which he questions how that really makes sense, and that she was saying that they're talking to other people, such as Cirie and Felicia, and he says they're going to be talking to everyone, obviously. So Matt
Mhm.
says that he knows him and Jag are rocking with Bowie, but lately she's been a little paranoid. For him and Jag, it's a little bit scary because having someone freak out on them right now is not good for their game. Bowie questioning him and Jag is a hiccup that could really ruin all of this. They definitely don't need Bowie to mistrust them and then start looking elsewhere and start working with someone else. There are 5 people left in this house to be nominated this week. And at this point, they really just need to figure out what the best option is going to be to get them to the end. So Felicia talks to Jag about how he sees this playing out. He asks how she feels and what she thinks should happen this week. She tells him that she knows that he doesn't want to put up Bowie, but if she knows she's a pawn, she's okay. So Felicia talks about how they have this final 4. Bowie is not in that alliance, so put her up now. He might actually have a deal with her, and he's just kind of waiting to see how everything plays out. So she needs Jag to show her that he's serious of sitting Bowie on the block. And again, I think this is a good play from Felicia as opposed to something she does later.
Yeah, honestly, like this was actually good where she was pushing for Bowie.
Yeah, I want so badly to just like talk about what she's doing wrong, but we'll get there when we get there. Because this is a very infuriating week for Felicia. That's all I will say. So Jag tells her that he's unsure of putting up Bowie, seeing how she's reacted in situations before. She tells him that she doesn't think that he'll lose trust with her. So Jag talks about that if he nominates America, he needs to figure out who would sit next to her. He has Felicia pushing him to nominate Bowie, but he wants Bowie around because if him and Matt are unable to win a comp, Bowie can win it. And if he does, and he doesn't want to nominate Felicia or Cirie, but if he doesn't, he questions if it'll raise suspicions that they're working together and he's working with Blue. But she has shown that she's a comp beast and could be a threat to his game. All this is really overwhelming and the choice is super tough and he doesn't know what he's going to do. But this is why he should like want to stick with Blue, in my opinion, because like she's winning comps. Bowie isn't. And like Blue trusts him. Blue isn't going to turn on him. Like, I don't understand why he wants Blue out so badly.
In that sense, he should want to keep her so that they can have someone else to go after all this, like, to go after threats.
Yeah, like he should realize like Bowie is probably the better person to get out, especially if he's prioritizing comps. Like Bowie won one comp, like, and I know Blue only won one comp too, but like, you know, Blue's come close in comps. I feel like it makes more sense to keep her here. So Jag tells her he guesses it depends on how his conversations will go with everyone. Felicia tells him that they're going to be good and they're going to the end. She sees it. Jag then talks to Blue and tells her that this is the part where she's going to hate him. And he straight up tells her he's thinking of putting her up as the pawn. And she asks him why and tells him that she had a feeling. And he tells her he doesn't want any more new blood on his hands after last week, where he pretty much put up everyone in the house. And that just leaves her and Felicia. And she's literally a better competitor. And the only thing that could go wrong this week is America winning. He tells her the way he sees it, if it's the two of them playing, they're always going to have a better shot at beating America than it's him and Felicia. He tells her if he could choose one person to be next to him to play and a veto to beat America, it would be her. Blue tells him that if he's sitting next to her on the block and she still goes home, it's Cirie and Poetic Justice. Blue says that this is not what she wanted, but Jag explains to her that he needs her to compete in this veto. Now she is the veto goddess queen. The claws are out. She's ready to win, and she has Jag. Again, I have no idea why she is so okay sitting on the block. Like, I just don't get it. Like, she should absolutely be fighting against this. She should be pushing for Bowie. She knows that she almost went last week. Like, Blue.
Yeah, she's like,
I'm sorry, you can't be this naive.
She's just blind.
Yeah, like it's so bad. So America goes to the HOH room and tells Jag that he finally gets the room, and I think makes a pretty good pitch here because she knows that she's feeling the heat. Her back is up against the wall, so she really has to pull herself together and try to talk to Jag and give him the best possible pitch that she can. Only time will tell if she stays true to her word, but she has to do whatever she can to stay off the block. And she tells him that her person is gone and she's there on her own. She wants to make it as far as possible. She tells him that if he wants to put her up because he's concerned that she would have put him and Matt up, she's not the only one that would have done that. But if he doesn't see her as a competitor, why should she go up this week? And I agree with this. Like, I'm not winning comps. Why are you putting me up here? And why would he want to take her out this week? And she also tells him if she really can't win anything and then she doesn't see a point in going after her this week, like if she were in his shoes, she'd want to go after someone that have a little bit of a tougher time competing against when it gets down to those numbers. But if he thinks she can and he has faith in her and thinks she can win, then she's telling him she's not putting him or Matt up and he won't be backdoored either. But if she doesn't win HOH and they're both up, she'll use veto on him and she promises him that. And if she doesn't win HOH or veto, she'll be that vote for him. He tells her that he wants to trust her, but he can't offer that she won't be on the block, but she doesn't have to be his target. She tells him if she stays this week, she'll be forever thankful. So Jag says America just made him an offer, and if she's
this was a really good pitch for sure. And like, even if she's
because I mean, I think
even though if she wins HOH, she is targeting them, but at least she's really trying.
And also, like, she would have been the target here. I think if it wasn't for this pitch, she absolutely would have been. So
yeah.
He says that America made him an offer, and if she stays true to that, it's going to be very hard to turn down. He sees America more or less being on an island, and that essentially means there's an opportunity to work with her. Hearing that makes him reconsider everything. If it's not America, he needs to figure out who his real target is. So America tells him she has all she has in this game right now is her word and her promise. So yeah, honestly, like very impressive pitch by America here. Like she did what she needed to do for sure. So we get to the nomination ceremony and we get just really boring noms all around. It's America in blue. His reasoning for nominating America is that she just went out of her way to make it public knowledge that she was going to cook him if she was HOH and thinks it's the right thing for him to return the favor. So this Aston moron just clipped her wings. And his reasoning for nominating blue is that she wants trouble, so they should make it double. And yeah, I mean, you said it best on Twitter. These are really boring nominees. So
very. It's just like the most.
Blue says she's on. Blue said she's on the block this week, which isn't a surprise. Jag told her she's the pawn, so now she just has to be America and send her to the jury house with her boo thing, as she calls it. And she says, may the best showmance win, which I will say, I do think it's really funny that Blue just wants to be the superior showmance. Like, that's the only reason she wants America out.
Yeah.
Just so she can be like, I outlasted you, so Jared and I are more superior. Like, I think that's actually really funny.
It is.
So America said it doesn't change the fact that Blue is a terrible strategic player, but I do think her pettiness is very funny. So,
it's definitely really funny.
So America says she tried hard to not be put up, but hopefully Jag holds his end of the deal and keeps her safe this week. She still has this veto, and she's pumped up, and she's going to win this. So Bowie says she sees the nominations go up, and she's super happy that her face is not up there. Cory was in her ear trying to make her doubt Matt and Jag, but these nominations prove to her that she can trust them going forward, and she says to make this the final three. Jag says that America and Blue are on the block, but actually his target is now Blue. It may seem crazy, but right now he's going after people that are comp threats. And at this point in the game, he's competing in every veto comp moving forward. So he wants to set himself up. That way he can win his way at the end. He took a shot at Cameron. He took a shot at Cory. They've gotten rid of comp threats already. Blue has shown she's one of the biggest competitors left in the house, and he needs her to go. With America, he's just praying she honors the deal that she made, and he's going to do everything in his power this week to keep her safe. And that is how we end a rather boring episode. Tuesdays, I'm going to say right now, is really not much better.
Yeah, it's not the best, but it's not awful, but it's not great.
Yeah, it's not the most interesting.
All right, so Jag says he nominated America and Blue because neither of them are in his endgame plans. Even though himself and Blue are friends, they've worked together in the past. He wants to eliminate the people who are the biggest comp beasts, and Blue is next on the list. Which, I mean, also I guess fuck you to America, because he said he only said him and Blue are friends, not him and her.
Yeah.
But okay. But meanwhile, America offered him a great deal where she promised him safety next week. So now his focus is on winning this veto and sending Blue to jury.
Yeah, I mean, I think he sees America as a little more than a friend, considering how he's been treating her this week.
No, I feel like it's all just for fun.
I don't know.
No, I don't think he actually likes her.
I don't know. Something he did last night was like,
because technically that was him tucking both of them in.
I mean, yeah, but she was like, I don't consent to this. So
yeah. I feel like they're just playing into it, because I mean, he was always one of the biggest Cory shippers.
It's true. I don't know.
He was probably just playing it up, trying to stay on like her good side.
Yeah.
So Blue says Jag put her on the block, but the plan is to get America out, and in order to do that, Jag needs the strongest competitor in this house to for sure play in the veto, and she guesses that's her. She'd love to take herself off the block, but the most important thing is that America stays up there. So she has to gun it for the veto, and if like her life depended on it.
Yeah, I mean, that is what she needs to do, but not for the reason she thinks.
I know. Cirie says if she had a choice between America and Blue, she would want Blue to stay because they have been trying to build on their relationship since Jared left, and she can't keep losing people that she's working closely with in the game. It's like a general losing all his soldiers.
But I mean,
Which, yeah.
honestly, I think Cirie is still in such an amazing position. Even Blue does go this week. Like, it's just a
Oh yeah.
testament to her social game at this point.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Like she's been killing it on this like lately.
Yeah, the whole season pretty much.
Oh yeah. So America is emotional. She just got nominated. It's just a lot happening at once for her. Cory left and he's probably chilling by a pool and she's there stressed out and getting her wings clipped. It's just so annoying and she can't trust her and she can't trust Jag, obviously. And no matter what she said to him, if she stays past this week, she's definitely coming after him and Matt the second she gets a chance. And there's really nothing she can do right now but win the veto. Bowie goes to Jag and Matt, and Jag updates her that Blue is going home, and Bowie says that's good to know. Bowie says she was a little bit worried before nominations with Cory giving her doubts about Matt and Jag, but she knows she couldn't trust Cory and can't let paranoia get in the way of a great final three with Matt and Jag, where she finally has people she can trust in this house. Oh, Bowie.
I mean, I get it. Like, she wants people on her side, but it's just like she doesn't even try to like look for other options. She doesn't. She's not doing what she can to get herself the win. She's doing what she can to get to the end with Matt and Jag and get cut at 3. Like, that's literally what she's doing.
Like, she also hasn't like rekindled her relationship that well with like Cirie and Felicia.
Because she hasn't tried. She doesn't want to. Like, she has no interest. And at this point, it's like they're gonna end up being the majority of the house in a little bit. It's like she should try to do that, and she's not.
And then she's not really super close with America and Blue. Like they just talk about Ryan. They mostly just have like regular conversations. I never really see them talk game.
Yeah, so that's really my frustration with Bowie. It's that she doesn't try to look for other options. She's kind of limiting herself to where this is her only path to the end right now. Whereas 2 weeks ago, I would have said, oh, Bowie could have gone anywhere. But now she's so undyingly loyal to Matt and Jag. I mean, her best chance is getting third at this point. I don't even think she makes it to the end right now.
No, I don't think so either.
And I think the only way she does is if she's carried there by other people. So, just very frustrating all around. I don't know what happened. Like, I was really impressed by her 2 weeks ago, and now she's just, like, completely dropped the ball, in my opinion.
No, she was doing so good until, like, during that week.
Yeah.
So, Jag says they need all hands on deck to make sure Blue doesn't win veto. Matt says it would be worst case scenario, and Jag says it's literally the number one thing, but overall they are just chilling with Blue to America up, and they just need to win. Jag says he decided not to nominate Bowie because even though she got paranoid last week, the Minutemen have a final 3, which could be their path to the end, as well as final 4 with Cirie and Felicia. But it will depend on who they trust the most. And then Matt talks to Cirie, and he tells her he knows his mom's loving that he's hanging out with her all the time since they watched Survivor together.
Yeah, this is a really sweet segment. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, this was a really wholesome one. So Matt says
and also there's a lot of filler in this episode. I'll say that right now. There's a lot of filler in this one.
Yeah. I will say they were like entertaining, but like they're just like, no, why?
Yeah.
So Matt says
I mean, there's one I really liked, but like, there's a lot of filler.
Oh, same. So Matt says he loves Cirie and she's his go-to for everything, and she's like his mom in the house, and she's always looking out for him, so there's a genuine connection that he has with her, and she's awesome. So then they get a wholesome segment between them, and Cirie says she loves him, his kindness and humility, that makes her turn to mush for Matt. That was sweet.
Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely very important considering something that happens later on. Like, we need to see how close these two are. Like, Cirie's the person Matt's never going to turn on besides Jag, and we very much see why.
Exactly.
And this is when Matt's at his best, in my opinion. I have not enjoyed Matt. A lot of things Matt has said this week, he's really pissed me off. But when he is with Cirie, he's at his best.
Oh, yeah. Matt's definitely said a lot of problematic things this week.
Yeah. Definitely back to being, as some people call him, Matthew Tate.
Yeah. Ugh. So Felicia talks to Jag and he assures her America is gone this week, and as long as they seal the deal tomorrow, and if that happens, it's looking pretty good. They just have to make sure tomorrow goes well, and he says at this point he's happy with any of them playing. The person who cannot win this is already for sure playing.
Yeah.
And Jag says he's not letting Felicia in on his actual plan this week, which is that Blue is the target. Yes, he's in a Final Four with her, Cirie, and Matt, but he doesn't trust Felicia to hold on to this information since she might accidentally let it slip, and that's a risk he can't take. Well, that's true because based on things that happened this week.
Yeah, considering something she does later on, good call. Very good call.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He continues to tell her there is one goal this week and everyone is in on it. Felicia feels Jag should be targeting Bowie as she's been in the middle of the whole game, but for some reason he's holding close to her, so she's fine with him targeting America as long as her and Cirie stay in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Cirie talks to Jag and asks for his thoughts, and he says publicly it's very clearly America, and he has told Felicia that she is the target, but in reality, Blue has shown over and over that she is a better competitor, so she needs to go.
Yeah, and I mean, I like that he includes Cirie on this. It proves that he, trusts her and things like that, but we'll talk about what happens a little later on.
Mm-hmm. So Jag feels while Felicia may go to Blue and let her know she's the target, he trusts Cirie to hold on to the secret and not let her know because Matt trusts her and he trusts...
Bless you.
Thank you.
He trusts to sneeze.
Because Matt trusts her and he trusts Matt, and with her looped in, it's one more person to help him execute his plan this week. Cirie feels great that he wants to share his ideas with her, but feels if he is willing to go after one of his best friends in the game, he's likely to come after him, which shows why he's so dangerous, and that's all the more reason why she needs Blue to stay.
Yeah.
So Blue talks to him, still thinking that she's basically fine. Jag says he needs America to go for him, and she's thinking it could be the three of them at the end and starts deviously laughing at the idea of that. Blue says it's always a little nerve-wracking to be on the block because she never wants to be too comfortable. So now she has to go all out for the veto competition, and America should think of it as a favor since she's just letting her see her man. That was funny. So Jag says he feels this is deja vu from last week, with him lying to Blue and hiding his true intentions, and this is the second shot he's taking, and there's no way he can miss this one because she's smart enough to fire right back at him. So he needs to win this veto. And then we get a filler segment about all the food Felicia eats. She claims she...
This one I like. This one was funny.
Oh, this was hilarious. She claims she uses her robe to stuff food in her pockets, such as chicken wings and full bags of salami, 2 kiwis in her pocket, and 2 pieces of bacon. She does this as she gets bored from all the damn conversations. She also has a stash of her own food as everyone are vultures. She also makes them think she has a baked potato in her pocket, but she's joking.
Yeah, this was great. Her just pulling out random food in her pocket. It's just like classic Felicia.
Oh yeah, I just thought it was great.
Oh yeah, because one of her biggest things on the feeds all season has been ordering food from Mr. B.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's so good.
This is when Felicia's at her best, in my opinion. Is when she's just I want food.
Oh, it's so funny. Cirie is highly confused why Felicia has chicken wings in her pocket. This is typical her. And Bowie thinks she's the Mary Poppins of this house. You'll never know what comes out of pockets or her mouth.
That was a great Australian accent.
I sounded more British, but hey.
Yeah.
So it's time. I'm very sorry to all the Australians.
Honestly, that was bad. That was as bad as when I did I did the one on the Survivor podcast last night. However, shout out to the woman looking after Bowie's house.
Yes.
That's the only shout out I will accept.
It's so funny.
Saying beat you, Zach. Those are the only shout outs I will accept.
Oh, they're so good. So it's the last time to pick players for the veto competition this season. Jag says the one person he wants to play is Matt, so the Minutemen can do what they want, what they do best, and he does indeed end up selecting him.
Yep.
So Matt's excited to be picked, and he's hoping he can win so Jag's back can stop winning from carrying them with all these comp wins.
I thought that was funny.
That was. Because technically he's only won the comp for the power and one veto in that last double.
I just don't think he's as good as comps as we thought he was going to be. I really don't.
Oh, I agree. Give him a swimming comp.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't accommodated him, so it also could be that. But, like,
Yeah.
you know.
That's true. So America feels no one would use this veto on her, so it's all up to her. She then picks Felicia, and Felicia picks Bowie. So they're all wowed by the fact that for the whole season, Cirie's name is never once drawn from either the random draw or house guest choice. She jokingly says they're bad pickers, which is really funny.
Yeah.
And then Blue then jokingly looks to make sure the chip is in there and reveals that it is.
Yeah, this is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen this happen in a season of Big Brother. Cirie was her chip was never drawn. She was never picked for house guest choice. The only time she competed in a veto was the time she was on the block. That's literally it. She has not competed in any veto since then.
Of course the double vetoes.
Yeah, that's literally it, which is insane to me. I mean, the good thing is now she can compete in every veto, but I don't think I've ever seen it where somebody hasn't been picked, like, at all season.
I know. It's, like, crazy.
Pretty crazy. I honestly don't think this is ever going to be, like, replicated. I think this is just going to be something that, like, when we look back on the season, it's like, what could have been, you know?
Honestly.
Like, what if she was picked for one of those? Would she have won?
Mm-hmm.
So
Cirie talks to Blue, saying she's concerned about today, and she agrees. And she says she wants her to win it so bad and wants to feel sure. If Blue agrees, another veto win would be cool, and Blue says it would be excellent.
Yeah.
Cirie wants to tell Blue that she's not safe with Jag, and he is targeting her, but is worried she can't do that without her running up to him and blowing up her whole game. She does want Blue to ensure her own safety by winning this veto.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was really smart. It's like she knows she's in danger, but she can't really tell her she's in danger, so she kind of has to, like, choose her words a bit. Again, this is like Cirie at her best.
Oh yeah, definitely. So Blue talks to her about America being the
target. I'm still here. I'm just opening my window.
Okay. Blue talks to her about America being the target, which is a good thing, and that Jag seems really sincere. And Cirie tells her to keep her guard up to a degree, which she agrees with and says she's going to win. Cirie tells her to put all her focus on winning the veto today and that she doesn't want America to win. Cirie says Blue's under the Jag spell and she's thinking she can trust him. She doesn't know why no one else can see it, that Jag is the most dangerous person in the house. Her life in this game is going to be dedicated to figuring out how they can get rid of him.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Jag is definitely one of the names that's on the chopping block in this double eviction. We'll talk about it more at the end, but I think Cirie being behind it is going to be very spicy.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So we then get another filler segment of the house guests receiving a barbecue.
This is the one where I'm like, did we need this? Like, did we really just have nothing to show in this episode?
It's like, come on, really?
Yeah, like this scream, like just throw this in the recap episode.
Honestly. Bowie says Big Brother has finally given them a Bobby, and she's so excited that
Bobby
came more Australian than this. That was really bad,
was
but yeah, my Australian accent needs some work.
We got a Bobby.
So Jag and Matt take their shirts off and put aprons on, which Felicia tells them they're too silly. They finally get their first DR together, which Jag says they're the Minutemen. They do everything together, so now they're doing what they do best, cooking. Matt says they're cooking for all the ladies in the house. Jag says they gave them dinner and a show, so how can they be mad about that? Which Matt says it's the best dinner they can ask for.
It is ironic that they want to cook for all the ladies in the house when they view most of the ladies as just there to cook for them. Mm-hmm. But whatever.
Yeah, literally Cirie, Felicia, and Blue are like the main cooks, and that's all they think of them.
And literally Jag and Matt have both said that the reason they want to keep Cirie and Felicia in is because they cook for them. Matt literally said this week, oh, Blue doesn't cook or clean for me. She does nothing. Like, it's,
He said that about
the
America.
misogyny is just so
Yeah,
disgusting.
Matt's been like really rude about America this week.
Yeah.
Like, that's the Matt we do not like.
No, yeah.
So Blue tells them it's like the hot man calendar. They then take some photos with Felicia. They take photos with Felicia. America tells them they got to take the shorts off, and they're cooking burgers for everyone. Which Jag tells him they're probably the worst people for this. Which Matt agrees because at least they look good doing it. And Felicia is impressed by their first time barbecuing. She jokes if she was 35 years younger. That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
Such a Felicia thing to say.
Yeah.
So Felicia tells Cirie her gut is telling her they really are taking America out this week, which Cirie tells her it makes no sense to have Blue on the block right now, unless they want her out, and Felicia tells her that would mean they should be telling them they want them to vote Blue out, which Cirie tells her to wait till after the veto plays and to let Blue lose the veto and see what they say.
Which, let's remember that. Cirie literally tells her, wait until after the veto.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind with something Felicia does in a little bit.
Yep. Cirie tells her she needs her to trust her a little more in what she's saying to her. And Felicia tells her if Blue doesn't win veto, Cirie says to watch that. Blue's ass is out of there, which she better win. And that's what she told her when she hugged her. So Cirie says she wants to tell Felicia badly that Jag told her Blue is the real target. But she can't just come out and say it because she'll be sticking her neck out. She wants to let Felicia know in a roundabout way that this is the plan. So later in the week, she'll see that Jag has been lying to her about the plan from the beginning, and she has all her eggs in Jag's basket, and she needs to crack some of them.
Yeah.
So Felicia says Cirie is sitting there saying after the nomination ceremony, when she hugged Blue, she whispered in her ear she better fight for her life in the veto, because if not, she's going home since she's the target. She's very unsure why she would say that. They're in a Final Four with those guys, and they're in a great spot and should just chill.
And this is where Felicia does something astronomically bad.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, could have been a lot worse, but we'll get into it. Just talk about what Felicia does here.
All right. So Felicia tells Jag she knows she can trust him with his info and she's ready to give him. She tells him she knows she's been trying to roll with Cirie from the beginning, but she's paranoid. Like, for some reason, Cirie thinks the real target is Blue, so she told her that she's the real target. And if she doesn't win this veto, she's leaving the house. Jag is unsure why Cirie said that to Blue, and Felicia is telling him with straight integrity and wouldn't make this stuff up, which Jag appreciates. She tells him he might need to reconsider it if he wins the veto.
I don't think I need to even dwell on how bad of a move this is, especially because, like, the one thing I will definitely say here is that I saw people online defending Felicia for this move, saying like, oh, she's just trying to put herself in a better spot. She's just trying to get to 3 with Matt and Jag, make sure that Cirie doesn't get there. But that's not what she was doing. She was doing this to make sure like they were all on the same page. That's why she was doing this. She was doing this for assurance. And at this point, like, this is not when you should be asking this question. When she should have been asking this question is when Blue loses the veto and knows that Blue is going. Because at this point, if she's not careful, it could be her or Cirie going up. Like, this was so bad. I don't know what she was thinking here. Like, generally, like, again, if she was trying to play here and like trying to throw Cirie under the bus, I'd be like, okay, that's actually a great move. Like, I don't like the fact she's throwing Cirie under the bus, but I can't add the fact that she's playing the game. But no, she's doing this to try to help her and Cirie. It's just, I don't know what she was thinking. This is like, Felicia's had such a huge problem all season with saying too much. And I feel like this is the worst example of that.
Did
you ever...
So just very frustrating all around.
Oh, it really is. It's like she did not have to do that.
Yeah, like if you're going to do that, you do it after the veto. You do it after the veto has played, because then things are actually like set in stone. You could actually make something happen. And here's the thing. Jag was thinking about putting up Bowie still at this point. Like, he was still contemplating it. This shut any possibility of that down. And that's part of why Felicia was doing this. She really wanted Bowie to be on the block. And if she really wanted that to happen, she should have just waited until Jag won the veto and said, hey, you can make a move now. Like, don't do this before the veto. This was so bad.
It really was. Ugh, it was
and to me, like, Felicia's probably lost the game because of this move.
Oh, yeah. She was like, she's so messy this week.
Yeah.
So Felicia says the veto hasn't been played yet, so she wants to let Jag know what Cirie said to Blue, because if Blue starts spiraling, she doesn't want to get caught in the crossfires and have this blow back on her. The whole season, all she's been hearing is Felicia said, Felicia did, Felicia this, and this time she's got to jump in front of this and jump in front of it with a quickness.
And you're just proving why that's a problem.
Oh, I know.
God. I love how she's like, oh, people have been saying I'm doing too much, so I'm going to continue doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you doing?
Jag says he chose to trust Cirie in this game again. Now with this few people in the house and this much time left, she's fucking around like that. He's protecting her and taking her so far in the game. Now he's finding out this information about her and is making him second guess everything. If he wins the veto, Cirie might have to go sooner rather than later.
Yeah, which again, like, I know that's not what Felicia intended, but that's what's going to happen now. Now Jag has less reason to trust Cirie. Like, she wasn't thinking about Cirie's game at all here, thinking that, maybe he just doesn't want me to know about this, so I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. It's just, my God. Listen, I love Felicia. She's very iconic to watch. She's such a good find in terms of casting, but she was so frustrating this week.
Oh, she really has. Like, after this, it's like, girl, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So it's time for the veto competition. It's once again another comp involving pictures.
Oh my God, I wonder who's going to win.
Oh my God. They will have to arrange the pre-jury's humiliating photos from the cruise in canonical order from start to finish. They will hit their button to start the clock, then remove photos from the cabinet and place them on the stands. Look for clues in each photo to determine the chronological order the photos were taken. And when they think they have them arranged in the correct order, they will hit their button to lock in their time. If incorrect, they will hear a buzzer and most figure out when they went wrong. If correct, they'll hear a ding and clock will stop. And whoever orders them in the correct order within the quickest amount of time will win the veto. Which,
I mean, this is literally the same exact kind of comp that Jag has been doing well in. So it was obvious that he was going to win. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, they're not doing comps that are fair and equitable for everyone. They've basically been doing the same comp for 5 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
It's so not frustrating.
Good. It's so frustrating. And I will say Blue's confessional about Mimi was really funny.
That was funny.
That was so good. So, and for who knows how many times this season, they only show the top 3 times with it. Well, so once again, coming down to Jag and Blue, Bowie in third with 10:36 and Blue with 8 minutes, with Jag ultimately winning with a crazy time of 6:22.
Listen,
like
is
Blue
it cool?
Literally another comp, Blue almost won. Insane result.
Is it cool that Jag has won 5 comps in a row on the surface? Sure, but one, he should not have been able to do that because he should not have been able to play in the HOH. 2, it's not like these comps have been something different. Most of them have all been looking at a picture, running back and forth, and buzzing in the quickest. Those have been like the last 3 comps. Like, it's insane to me that they just keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting something different. At this point, again, I have to assume they are doing this for Jag. They want Jag to win. They want Jag to have that story. And I swear to God, if I see any fucking comps on the double tonight that are looking at a picture and buzzing in, I'm going to lose my mind. Generally, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, God.
So, just make the comps fair. Just make the comps fair.
Yeah, literally. Let everyone have a chance.
Yeah.
So Jag talks to Matt about what Felicia told him and that Cirie said, and she feels she sold them out to cover her ass. Matt knows
she shouldn't have said anything.
Matt knows this isn't good as Jag is sussed out by Cirie once again, and he can't have Matt as Cirie because they're both his closest allies, so he really hopes this doesn't change anything for the week.
This is the one thing Matt does do a good job with here, is the way he talks about Cirie and like really trying to defend Cirie. I think that this is the Matt again that I enjoy watching.
Yeah, this is the Matt we like, not when he is problematic.
Yeah, not when he's saying like weirdly misogynistic stuff.
Yeah. Matt asks him if he thinks Felicia is lying, and he says no because he told Cirie about Blue being the target, and so he doesn't understand why Felicia go out of her way to come to him and tell him as it would be a wild guess thing to guess. He doesn't think they can trust Cirie as she's building trust with Blue, so that if she stays, she goes after them.
Yeah.
So Jag
she is coming after them.
yeah. Jag knows Matt trusts Cirie, but doesn't know how many times she can break his trust without him being able to do something about it. But he has the power this week and has to do what's best for his game. Matt congratulates him on winning, and Jag says it's good to know they can't trust her.
So yeah, I was really stressed out for like a day. Like, oh my god, he's gonna put up Cirie. This is it. It's over. Like, there's no reason to keep watching this season at this point. But we'll get to the veto ceremony where things aren't quite as worrisome as we thought.
So it's time for the veto ceremony. Almost like competition again. Well, and while he was
they're doing two again?
Oh yeah. So, and while he was contemplating it for a little bit, Jag ultimately decides to not use the veto.
Thank God, because I didn't want Cirie to go up. Because that's what would have happened if he did use the veto.
The only way it'd be entertaining is if he put up Bowie instead.
Yeah, that's the only outcome I would have liked. I don't want Cirie to go. I don't want, even though I don't like what Felicia did, I don't want Felicia to go because she's like literally gold in terms of like entertainment, and she's just like really fun to watch. Like, it doesn't change the fact that I love Felicia. I've seen a lot of hate towards Felicia, and I feel like you can still criticize somebody's gameplay and also still really like watching them. And that's how I feel about Felicia. Like, I don't understand what she did. I don't think the intention was what ended up happening, but I don't think she thought about what effect it was going to have either. So
exactly,
I was just happy to see that Jag ultimately doesn't use the veto here, because I was kind of stressing that he would. So
yep. Jag says he could have put up Cirie as a replacement nom, but at this point, the most important thing is eliminating competition threats. And Blue has been consistently on his heels in so many, and these next few weeks have been critical in getting him to the finale. And though he doesn't trust Cirie as much, he doesn't think she'd come after him and Matt. Well, we'll see.
Very flawed logic, but at least it's not Cirie. That's all that matters to me. Even I don't think his logic makes sense, but it's fine.
Yeah, agreed. America says Jag promised her she's not going home this week, and if he follows through with it, it's gonna be the dumbest move he could possibly make. She knows he promised him safety, but he literally just blindsided her and Cory, so she has no loyalty to him. In fact, she's coming after him, and she's gonna take him out, even if it's the last thing she does in this game. Which, like, we love that.
Yeah, I think that definitely.
Like, they're both. I mean, Jag's trying to trust her, but I feel like they're both just completely playing each other.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because they kind of have to.
They do. Like, it's just, they're really just doing this for like jury management, and also like if they cut each other, they have each other's votes, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So Blue's not shocked he didn't use the veto, but it's all part of the plan. However, if the plan is actually to blindside her and take her out this week, she's going to look stupid right now. So you're fucked.
Like, I don't understand why it's taking her this long to realize it. It's literally been so obvious to me.
Like, even if it's a tie, she's still probably gone.
Yeah, like, literally that's what's going to happen here. Like, if Jag breaks the tie, it's going to be her. If the split vote thing they're saying is actually going to happen, because they've been saying it a lot this season, and it doesn't happen. So we'll see if it actually does. Oh, no. No, she froze. Right as we're about to read the last note, she literally freezes. What the hell? Okay. Well.
All right. So
you're back.
What did you see? What did you hear last?
Literally the last note. That's all we need to hear.
All right. Yeah. Sorry. We love when StreamYard messes up.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I will say though, shout out to StreamYard for implementing this pause button. It's like the best thing they could have done.
It's so good, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. So Cirie says Jag wanting Blue out may be a fatal mistake for him because she doesn't have that same loyalty to him that Blue has. She's right behind his back waiting for the opportunity to take him out, and unlike the last 2 weeks, he can't play HOH. Yes, he's a great competitor, but he missed his critical component of this game, and one of those is her, which we love.
I fucking love her so much. It's like that's like a top tier confessional. That was the perfect way to end this episode. Yeah, so let's talk now about what's going to happen tonight. I think that's really the only thing left that we have to speculate on here. Tonight's really crucial, I feel like, even more so than the previous double eviction that we didn't realize was fake at the time. This one's actually really crucial because, like, it's going to determine what is this end game going to be like? What is the end of this game going to look like? Are we going to see Matt and Jag just dominate everything? Or are we going to get what we got last season where the person winning the most comps ends up leaving and the final 5 is like a lot more open? I'm hoping for the latter at this point.
Yeah,
but we'll have to see. What do you think is the likelihood that Jag actually goes tonight?
I think he's done if he doesn't win veto.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Like, hopefully, I mean, I love Jag as a person and everything. I just don't want it to be predictable. I don't want the rest of the season to be predictable, even though it's getting close to the end. It'll be from 7 to 5 tonight. But it's probably gonna be Blue and Jag, which I feel like at that point.
I mean, America and Jag.
Huh?
America and Jag, you mean?
No, like.
Jag. Oh, you mean who's leaving first? Yeah.
Unless there's a last minute flip, but that I don't know about. But it's probably going to be Blue and Jag, which I feel like if Jag leaves at that point, he'll probably be like, yeah, I should have trusted Blue.
Yeah, I think that's a fatal mistake from him. Like, I don't understand why because if Bowie wins, here's the thing. Bowie has been really annoying me all week. If she wins HOH tonight and puts up Jag, oh my God. Like,
I know.
I would be so shocked if she actually did that. I generally think that even if Matt wins HOH, he could still backdoor Jag. I could see Cirie talking him into doing that.
Yeah. I do think the most exciting would be probably. Well, I love Cirie. I would want Cirie to win HOH, but also whoever stays, which is most likely America. That would be very iconic.
I would love. Oh, that would be like Mecole winning in BB21, like when no one expected her to. So I'd love to see America actually win HOH here. I think if she did, she'd probably just go for Matt and Jag, and it'd be one of them going. So and then she'd probably put up Bowie because I don't think she's gonna put up Cirie and Felicia. I generally think that Cirie has the least amount of chance of going. Felicia's chance of going has increased. I will say.
I read that I think she's in the best spot in this double.
Yeah, Felicia, on the other hand, though, not so much. Because Cirie, I don't know what they're going to show tonight, but Cirie has very much turned the tide on Felicia now. And
if Jag wins veto, it's probably America or Felicia.
Yeah, it's going to be one of them going. I think Bowie also is not going tonight. There's no one that's like actively coming after. The only way Bowie leaves is if it's Matt and Bowie on the block. Bowie ends up going in that scenario because...
I mean, I could also see if Jag wins veto, I could see Matt going in that sense.
I think Cirie would go for Matt. That's the thing.
I mean, yeah, but like I think she would want to at least. I mean, yeah, she loves him, but I could see
that's true. She'd want to split up the duo.
Split them up, yeah. And then there's if that's the case, Jag's the only man.
Yeah, and then also like it's much easier to get out Jag at that point without Matt. So but Matt's not as
in that sense. They just have to hope he doesn't win
favorable towards Jag right now. We're gonna say.
Yeah, like if Jag wins, we just don't want him to win HOH in that sense.
Well, I just don't want him to win the veto. Like generally, I just want to see Jag go. I like Jag as a person, but I think that we both agree he has definitely like he's run his course at this point. Like it's his time. It's his time to go. Because like I don't buy the Jag can win this game. I really don't. Sorry. I don't buy the Jag can really win this game. He literally was evicted 10-0. I think aside from like comp wins and things like that, he really doesn't have much to his name. I don't think he's had good jury management. I don't think Jag can win this game. What do you think?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like I mean he could win, but like I don't know if they would vote for somebody who had a second chance.
That's the thing. I don't think he can win a jury vote. I think that he could win if it was like just a challenge, but I don't think he can win a jury vote. So
I could see him having a few votes, but not all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. We'd have to see what happens in that scenario. But other than that, we only have a couple more weeks left of this game, which is crazy. It literally ends like 2 weeks from now. Because it ends on November 9th, which thank God. It's been really long, and I'm just ready for it to end at this point. I just really hope we get a good winner. That's all that matters at this point to me. Like, I just want to see a good winner. If anyone wins that isn't Jag or Bowie, I feel like is a good winner in my opinion.
I like everybody left. It's just there are others I'm rooting for more.
If Bowie wins, I'm gonna be like, no.
I mean, I will just be like, oh my God.
Like, I saw a thing on Twitter where people think that Matt and Cirie are Jason and Danielle, and that Bowie is like Lisa. I don't see that. I don't see Bowie being someone that, and I don't see them being bitter at Cirie. That's the thing. Like, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
So I think Cirie in the final two, like, it's going to be very hard for her not to win.
I think Cirie probably wins almost unanimously.
Yeah, like I've seen people say they don't know if the jury's going to respect her game, but I mean, it's Cirie Fields. There's going to be people there who are pushing for her. If Corey and America especially are in the jury, they're going to be rallying hard for Cirie because they're both like diehard fans. So like they'll definitely be pushing for her. I think Cameron will push for her. Like I think definitely Cirie has a really good chance if she makes it to the end. The person who I'm a little bit more doubtful towards.
Also, if Matt's in the end, he definitely would too.
Yeah, I think the only person I'm doubtful towards.
If Matt's in jury.
Yeah, if Matt's in jury, he'll. Oh yeah, it's a done deal if Matt goes to jury at that point. Yeah. I think he's the person that probably has the least shot to go to jury, but we'll see. And other than that, going to be very interesting to see what happens on this double. I really hope it's a good one. I really hope this is an exciting one to watch because the fake double was very exciting. I want the real double to be just as exciting, but we will have to see how it all plays out. But is there anything else we really need to talk about here?
I think we pretty much covered everything and just very excited for the double and yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Hopefully it's a good double.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we should just go ahead and plug some stuff. So stay tuned, of course, for our ongoing coverage of Survivor 45. We are at Merge now. It's going to be very exciting to see how the season plays out. We just did a live react for episode 5. Crazy episode, very unpredictable the way that turned out. Definitely recommend watching that one if you haven't. So really loving the season a lot. But other things to plug here.
We will be covering we're going to be watching the second and third episode of House of Villains like throughout the weekend. So we'll probably be covering that like sometime this weekend as well. The first 3 episodes.
Top tier.
It's so good so far. So stay tuned for that. And then obviously, all of our season reviews we will do whenever we have time. Probably like in the off season.
Yeah, Big Brother's almost done, so we'll have a lot more time to catch up on stuff. But you know, because we have Big Brother 3 days a week, and you know, we usually end up doing the podcast like after the fact. You know, we just
the only time
focus on
the only time we can probably do Big Brother like on a Thursday is if like I didn't have to work at night. But yeah, it depends.
Hopefully you're not working on the finale, because I'd like to be able to do a finale stream, but we'll see.
Is that a Thursday? Oh yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, it is.
I probably will be working, unless I think I am scheduled, unless they like call me in for an earlier shift, but we'll see.
Yeah, November 9th is the finale, so and that's a Thursday. So
if only it was a Tuesday, then I could.
I know. But
we'll see.
yeah. I wish it was a Sunday like last season, because that was weird to have this show be the finale on a Sunday. But yeah, other than that, guys, that's really it for this video. As always, comment down below, let us know what you guys thought of this week, of these last 2 weeks, I should say, of Big Brother. Going to be interesting to see how this double plays out. We will, of course, be doing a podcast for that, so definitely look forward to it. Not going to be live because one of us has work, unfortunately. Yeah, I will be watching, so definitely look forward to that. I might tweet out my thoughts. I don't really do that much these days, but because Twitter kind of sucks. But
we usually we always just give our thoughts on our podcast.
Yeah, but other than that, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And remember, couples who podcast together stay together. We will see you guys later.
Bye, guys. Have a great day.